I think the frame window is 8 frames for the first one, it's 4 frames for the second, and it's a 2-frame input for the third one.
You might be right.
It's something pretty crazy.
I know that one of the frame windows for One Punch is pretty tight, but Zero Punch is either half a second faster or half a second slower, so it really doesn't matter. But One Punch is kind of the one that everyone knows.
Okay, another key thing to point out is that Mario's using his jump attack, and you notice that the damage will steadily increase as he uses it, and that's because every 2 uses of the jump attack will increase its base power by 1. So as you saw, the first jump on that Pink Link did 36 damage, and the second jump did 37, so that's where you see the extra 1 point base power coming into play. And during these cutscenes, during the battle, you can actually advance text with the D-pad and any of the 4 face buttons. While as if you're advancing text on, say, the field mouse, you have to do it just by pressing A. So there's quite a bit of time before we get to the next quick part of the game. So it's a little bit of a resting period. But for the next part, then we'll have to skip tutorials about using the items and learning how to fight battles. Going through those tutorials takes a lot of time, so obviously you want to skip them.
Now here, probably what you're gonna see is, both vendors are gonna talk to Toad, who's gonna send them back to Bowser's Keep, and they're gonna try to run out, and Toad will tell them to use a save box, and then they will try to exit again. And that's actually faster than using the save box by very, very slight amount.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's the one tutorial skip in this game you don't do.
Yeah, the big difference between English and Japanese is that Japanese's text is not only shorter in characters, but it's also faster when it scrolls. So in English, you would go actually attempt to save, cancel the save, and then leave. But in Japanese, you just leave, try to leave Mario's pad. Toad will take you back to the save box, and then you just leave again.
I think it's actually still faster in English to attempt to save, but like not by as much as it is in Japanese. That's what Mill was telling me anyway. But
it's
nobody runs English, so it doesn't matter.
It's been retimed. Okay. But now with Turbo being enabled, it probably doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're probably right. Alright. So now here's more dialogue that they just have to mash through. Here's 2 important tutorial skips they're going to have to do. If you accidentally pick the top option for either one of these dialogues, then you get sent to a big long tutorial, and you really, really don't want that.
Yeah, just a minor difference. If you skip the item tutorial, you actually get to keep the initial mushroom that Toad gives you, but you end up selling it anyway.
So I think our commentator audio is not like really able to be heard before. So just kind of recapping what we were saying earlier, we run the Japanese version of the game because it's about 9 minutes faster. Oh, and it looks like KBZ got an encounter, and so did Steven. Well, it looks like there's not going to be a time loss for either one of them. So we run the Japanese version.
No.
Just because like it is faster by about 9 minutes, and there are no other differences in gameplay otherwise. So you run Japanese, you can run English, and vice versa.
Okay, KBZ's probably gonna have to hit the treasure box here to get his. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Smart thinking.
Those little mushrooms that he gets on the field like that are instant recover mushrooms. That was very key because if he didn't have that, he could almost die to the Hammer Brothers if he didn't time all of his blocks correctly.
And the Hammer Bros can do one of 2 things. They can either smack you with their hammer once or throw 4 hammers on your head. The 4 hammer attack is blockable, but it's harder. So you see sometimes they're doing 0 damage. And the reason they're doing 0 damage is because every physical attack and some skills from enemies have a 5-frame window on the animation, where if you press an action command button, you can take 0 damage. Now this is a 60 FPS game, so 5 frames is about 1/12 of a second. It's a pretty small window, and the animation for each of the attacks blocked windows is actually different. So it's very tricky to learn them all, and it does take some time and a lot of practice. But we got 2 solid runners here, so we're going to be seeing a lot of really well-timed hits in this run.
Yeah, Super Mario RPG is pretty unique in the fact that you have to time attacks to deal more damage. Unlike critical hits in like the Final Fantasy series where you just attack and you hope you get lucky, in this game you actually have to time your attacks.
Yeah, this game's battle system is very interesting because there's nothing like crits in this game. Like you were saying, there's just timed hits. So if you want to do like what a quote-unquote crit, you have to make that happen yourself. What's also very interesting about this game's battle system is that damage for the most part is statically calculated. There's no RNG in your damage, except when you're attacking with a weapon. If you don't have a weapon equipped, then your physical attack will always do the same amount of damage, notwithstanding whether or not you get the timed hit. Everything else always is a static number based on your stats and the enemy's stats. There's no RNG involved. Basically, in each battle, like you were seeing in the Hammer Bros fight whenever it's Mario's turn, he's surrounded by 4 buttons and he was using jump and attack. Basic idea behind this battle system is that you can use physical moves like Mario's punch. You can also use special attacks like his jump. The jump is a spell, and that uses flower points, which is this game's version of MP. Now what's kind of unique about this game is that your entire party shares MP, so you start off with 10 health, and what you're going to see in the next battle that we do is when we get a new party member, Mallow, Mario is going to be using jump, and Mallow is going to be recovering himself with honey syrup, which restores MP, but that also recovers Mario's because it's shared across the entire party. And then your X button is just your items. most of your special moves with your Y have timed hits. Some of them work by pressing an action command button, some of them work by rotating your D-pad. Some of them work by mashing as much as you can, but, well, not really as much as you can. You generally gotta do like an 8-frame window between mashes. It's a very, very involved battle system and is very, very cool. That's just kind of the rundown on it.
So, before they went to talk to the Chancellor, they went to the item shop to make the purchases, and also equip Mario with everything that he gets. They initially bought 5 honey syrups, 4 able juices, 4 pick-me-ups, a shirt, and a pair of jump shoes for Mario. And then they equip everything before going to the Chancellor. For reason why they go there first is actually twofold. First, if you don't have the hammer equipped when the Chancellor finishes getting briefed from Mario, he actually does the equipment tutorial, so that's a time waster. And also, if you go to the item shop after getting Mallow in the party, you have to go through another cutscene. So that just skips both of those in quick succession. So the jump shoes that Mario equipped is pretty special because it increases his special attack by 5, so that's going to augment his jump damage. And in addition, any enemy that would normally be immune to jump can now be damaged by the jump move. So, although that really isn't the case, like every boss that he fights is vulnerable to jump. But the jump shoes just makes his attack that much better. And the reason we don't equip Mallow with anything is because even if he was equipped with everything possible, he couldn't survive any of Krako's bombs, even with the armor, so there's no point in wasting money on him.
Yeah, the only category you do that one in is most of the stuff. And then he becomes a tank. But you don't fight Mac in this category, so it's pointless.
So, what you saw there, they both picked up a hidden treasure chest, and they'll be doing that for the first half of the run. They'll be picking up hidden treasures that they need for the run, and that one in particular contains a Kiro drink, which is a pretty good item to have, but they're not going to be using that particular Kiro. As a matter of fact, they're only going to be using 1 Kiro, and that's, or actually 2 Kiros, but they'll be using those a little bit later. But any that they pick up now will be saved for later, and they'll sell them.
I just gotta say that I love how when you exit the room when you still have the invincibility star, Mario's just kind of standing there with his like sparkling suit while Mallow's like talking like no one finds anything strange about this.
It looks like Mallow's invincible too if you look hard enough. It looks like he's shining with invincibility.
Oh, it kinda does, you're right.
Did either of them get the dog jump? I didn't even notice.
I had to go turn off my alarm, so I didn't see.
We'll know if either of them got it here in a moment. Ooh, Steven got the dog jump because he has 12 FP. So that makes the Krako fight a little bit more lenient, because after Mallow uses the second honey syrup, he can die, and as long as Mario's untouched. Ooh, looks like Mallow died. Yeah.
He takes a bomb on Mallow, and when that happens, you gotta waste a turn to revive him. Or you can actually choose to keep going with Mario if you want until you take a bomb. Either way, it doesn't really matter. You want Mallow alive to be able to heal Mario in case he's taking damage, but Mario will not die from one hit with any of Krako's moves, but if he's taking damage, then he will. Oh, he takes another bomb. That's unfortunate. So Steven's just gonna keep going instead of reviving Mallow just to see if he can make it through. So as long as he perfect blocks all of Krako's dashes and doesn't take any bombs, he can actually finish this on his own.
Yeah, and after Krako gets hit with 5 jumps, he's going to use a weird mushroom, which will recover 60 HP. But after that, he skips his next turn, so you get 2 free shots at him, and then Krako will use 1 more attack, and then you can finish him off on the next turn. Ooh, a bomb missed on KBZ's side. And that was good because that would have killed Mario if that hit. Only at full HP can Mario take a bomb.
Yeah, and if you take a bomb, you have to be extremely careful not to take any damage from Croco's physical, so you have to perfect block all of them if you're going for the leave now with dead strat.
Okay, they're both through Croco, so that's good. KBZ's in a good spot for this trampoline, so the camera doesn't scroll as much when this trampoline appears.
Yeah, you also don't have to run as far.
Yeah. So they're both going to be saving before executing the only sequence break that's available in this category, which is the max skip. Because if they fail max skip without a save, then they just lost their run. So it's strictly a definite safety measure in races.
And this trick that they're about to do, the max skip, is really cool. This is one of only 2 major glitches that is actually used in the speedrun, the second of which being swap glitch that we'll see later. This, there are many parts of this area which are scripted to make you start in that cutscene, but if you do some precise jumps onto the head of the Shy Guy and over an invisible barrier that's blocking you from the Chancellor, then you'll be able to skip the cutscene just like that. Once you go talk to the Chancellor, that tells the game that you've beat Mac, even though you're about to see some funny glitchy stuff happen here. Pay close attention to the star behind Mac's chair. And see what happens to it. Just look at that star and see what it does. Oh my gosh, what's going on? The game gets all confused. It doesn't unlock the star piece menu, and when you save next is going to tell you that you have no star pieces, but luckily the game corrects itself when you get the second one in the forest maze. That trick looks very hard to do, but looks like both of our runners got it first try. It's actually not that difficult to do. It's a little tough to learn, but Justin and I have actually made like some very, very in-depth tutorials on how to get it. So it's like one of the first tricks you learn as a new runner of this game.
Yeah, there's a couple of checks that the game checks to see. If you're actually, when you jump on the Shyster initially, if the game detects that you're actually moving the instant you land on it, it forces you into the cutscene because it thinks you're trying to skip something. So the key part of the skip is Mario has to just fall on the Shyster while not moving in any direction. Once you get on the Shyster, the rest of it's a piece of cake. And you have to land on a specific spot on that tile. Like each tile that you see on the floor is like divided into 4 sub-tiles, so you can't be landing on a particular spot.
So here, KBZ's fighting Pandorite, and we actually do this because Pandorite gives you a bunch of money, and a true form pin, and a flower jar. The coin routing and the EXP routing in this game is actually extremely complicated. Oh nice, he gets a physical. Nice.
Oh, okay, he took it. Okay, good.
Yeah, he took it because Mello got flamed. He's good.
Yeah, he's good.
That's a nice fast Pandorite fight for KBZ. Let's see what happens to Steven. Oh, and he gets a Hell on Mello, awesome. So there he's gonna get a 3-turn Pando. Hell is a little bit slower, but you know, if Mario doesn't die in that fight, Pandorite's kind of annoying. He can attack Mario and do it unblockable.
Now, you need 12 FP before you get to the balloon fight, so Steven won't have to pick up the flower that's in this room with Pandorite, but KBZ had to pick it up because he did not get the dog jump from the sewers.
Oh, and KBZ misses the swag rat. He'll have to go for another bomb in Moleville. What you're supposed to do with the star is you're supposed to get 8 rats, and KBZ only got 7. Actually, maybe he got some extra dogs, I didn't notice. But the way that invincibility stars work in that game is that each one of them has a different set base amount of EXP per hit that you get. So it doesn't matter what enemies you hit, you're going to get the same amount of EXP per each one depending on which star it is. The sewer star gives you 2 per enemy, and the Bandit's Way one gives you 1.
Steven missed the switch to drain the water and tried to go back and get it, and he got into a ghost encounter.
Oh, that's annoying.
So, KBZ said he think he got 13 dogs, so that's not enough to justify missing the swag rat, so he will probably have to kill another bomb in the mines. But he gets sleep sauced.
Oh, that's
not too bad. That's not too bad, though. It's better than Mallow getting sleep sauced.
This is very true. What you want to happen is for Balloon to use a physical on that turn. That's most of this fight is actually very scripted. The second turn is random. Valome has about a 33% chance of using Sleep Sauce, which can either hit Mario or Mallow. That just kind of sends your whole fight into a tizzy when that happens, but if it hits Mario, it's not that big a deal because his next physical attack, which is always scripted after he takes Mallow away, is gonna wake him up. Special moves will not wake you up, but physical moves will.
One key thing, getting turned into a Scarecrow is good in this fight, because if he is under Scarecrow, he cannot be put to sleep by the Sleep Sauce. Because only certain status effects will override other status effects. So for the very last turn that Valome does before you kill him, really doesn't matter as long as Mario is still in the Scarecrow. But after that, it's pretty much done at that point.
Oh, you know what? One thing that we never know, that I don't think we ever pointed out, is like, you know how earlier I was saying that your damage is static? Some of the viewers may have noticed, if they're paying very close attention, that Mario's jump attack is actually changing in damage. And the reason that is because Mario's jump is the only attack in the game that powers up the more you use it.
Yeah, I think I pointed that out at the very start, but I don't know if the audio was good enough for everyone to hear it. But yes, just to recap, every 2 uses of Mario's jump attack will increase its base power by 1. So it will, in the early stages of the run, until we get to Mobile, you will see jump used. But after that, it doesn't get used very often because it's no longer a viable attack for damage.
Except on Boomer, I guess.
Yeah, it's used in a couple places.
But it's not like your main offense, so at that point it gets replaced by the super jump.
Yeah, I think you could power it up to 255 uses of jump, I think.
Yeah, it's I think it caps out at 255.
Just the normal jump it powers up, not any of the other jumps. Just jump.
In the low level category, you actually max it out because it's your only way of doing damage, basically. Yeah.
So on the Modest River here, you're going to see them get the 4 frog coins that you see in green. In addition, they're going to try to pick up enough coins to get close to 60, or at least 60 when they finish the Modest River minigame, because the Mushroom Boy at the bottom of the river will actually trade in 60 coins for another frog coin. And the frog coins are actually used to pick up some key items in the run that they will need. Coming up in the Tadpole Pond area, there's a special frog coin shop that sells particularly an Energizer and Sleepy Bombs, and they're going to be picking up a couple of Sleepy Bombs and an Energizer for the run. The Energizer is going to get used shortly, and the 2 Sleepy Bombs will be used a little bit later. And then after that, they're going to be picking up more frog coins to pick up the experience booster at Seaside Town.
Now, what you'll see here is I think Steven is going for getting exactly 60 coins. So he's leaving 1 coin behind in each row of 4 where he doesn't have to jump over a fish. And that's actually intentional. If you pick up 13 coins in the first room and then just ignore the final coin in each group of 4 except when you have to jump over a fish, you get exactly 60 coins. And that makes you skip a text box at the end of Midas River, which saves about half a second or so.
Yeah, KBZ also got it as well.
Nice.
So we failed to pick up on it in Mushroom Kingdom, but there will be times during when Mario visits all these locations that he'll have to prove that he's actually Mario by jumping. So it's not all strictly just mashing A. You do have to press B at specific spots to jump. Otherwise, you can't advance the text.
So the items that you pick up here after this upcoming cutscene, like Justin was saying, you get the Energizer, which get used shortly. The 2 Sleepy Bombs, actually, one of them you keep in your inventory until like the very end of the run, on the second last boss of this game. It's like, you have to get it here because you can't buy it anywhere else, but there's no reason to return to Tadpole Pond like later and do a second menu, so you just buy it here. It's And like some of the stuff that we're picking up at like the Kira Cola chest that we got in Bandit's Way, that stays in your inventory until you get to Seaside Town because like they sell for 200 coins. We're picking up a whole bunch of like, expensive items, and that's also something I didn't really touch on during the Pandorite fight. The reason that we fight Pandorite is not only for the experience, but because he gives you a flower jar and a true form pin, which sells for like 300 and something coins altogether, plus the coins that he gives you from the fight. That's all very important because what's going to come up later, like about a little bit before the halfway point of the run, is a big, huge, complicated menu in Seaside Town where you sell all the expensive stuff you've accumulated and you buy a whole bunch of explosives. And the explosives can only be bought at that point in the game. They can't be bought anymore after you beat the sunken ship. But they're extremely powerful. Fire bombs and ice bombs, there are tons of bosses in this game that are weak to fire and ice, so we kind of use them to speed things up. It's pretty crazy how it all works out, and it's very, very, very interesting how the menu is routed. Because you have to do a whole bunch of buying and selling in order since you can only hold up to 999 coins in your inventory, but you have to spend like 3,000 or something like that. I'm just ballparking it, I don't actually know the number.
Yeah, it's around 3,500, but coming up here, they're in addition to the frog coin shop, they're gonna go to the juice bar that's to the right, and they're gonna pick up a couple of froggy drinks. One of those will be used in the Bowyer fight along with the Energizer, if necessary, and the second froggy drink will be used during the Eurydivic fight. And then they'll pick up their frog coin items, and then they'll leave to go to Roseway. So, top-level runners like myself will only pick up one Sleepy Bomb, and that's because we do one less Wiggler jump. If you pick up 2 Sleepy Bombs, you'll have to do an extra Wiggler jump in the Forest Maze, but we'll get to that in a moment. But the benefit of the Wiggler doing the Wiggler jumps, you also get extra coins in addition to the frog coin that you get at the end.
I just saw KBZ doing Roseway, and I'm just like, wait, why isn't he going into the corner room? And I'm like, oh, I've been running too much, 100%. I'm like, no, you can't just skip it. Oh, wait a second.
So, you see, they're both hitting that one little, those chests for just 1 coin, because it's along their path. And that'll help them have enough coins later for the Seaside menu. If you miss too many coins, you can actually kind of jip yourself out of a bomb in the Seaside menu, so it's very important to pick up as many coins as you can along the way, just so that doesn't happen to you. Because a thing that we haven't touched on yet is freebie luck. When you use an item in battle, you can get a Wish Upon a Star and get a freebie, which means it doesn't get used and it gets put back in your inventory to be used later. And especially for fire and ice bombs and rock candies, that's a big thing. So here at the Rosetown shop, we buy 2 wake-up pins, and that's for the Clown Brothers fight and the Bunt fight later.
Nice platforming from KBZ.
Ooh,
everyone's heads.
Task bad.
And here we have everyone's favorite no-input cutscene coming up.
Well, there's one now with Turbo, but yeah. You actually want to tell the kid that you're not really Mario, because if you do, then you have to prove that you are him by jumping.
And then do a bunch of extra text boxes, so yes, we are lying to a small child and crushing his dreams to save a couple frames. That's just how we are as speedrunners.
We're ready to see Mario get wrecked. But we won't get to see Mario take the revenge shot on him, sadly. Yeah, after you complete the Forest Maze, you can actually come back here with Gino and go through a cutscene, and you get a free finger shot from the boy. But during the cutscene, Mario's going to be like trying to punch the kid for knocking him out earlier. And then Mallow holds him back. It's pretty funny. So while there's a cutscene, I'm going to briefly talk about the next part of the run, the forest maze. There's a hidden Kira coal on the very first screen that they're going to pick up, and that's solely to be sold later. And then on the second screen, you're going to see a Wiggler emerge from a pipe that looks like a trunk of a tree, which is pretty neat. They're going to be jumping on the Wiggler at least 10 times before it goes back into the pipe to get a frog coin. They're probably going to save before they go to the forest maze because the hitboxes on these Wigglers are really, really janky. And if you just land on them the wrong way, you can get thrusted into an encounter. And they can actually kill you at this point in the game with sandstorms if you can't block because you're so underleveled, and the sandstorm is pretty strong at this point in the game. And they'll have to jump on these Wigglers, I think 7 times because they both picked up 2 sleepy bombs.
Yeah, 2 sleepy bombs is kind of like the de facto marathon strat. You really, really don't want to go for Firebomb Johnny in a marathon. That can be pretty devastating if you miss a super jump. I used to do the Firebomb strat, but then, like, I didn't really feel like doing it anymore, so I went back to Sleepy Bomb.
But yeah, doing the Wiggler jumps isn't that difficult. There's a setup point that they'll be using to start jumping. And basically, you're just standing there and just riding the Wiggler on the jumps until the Wiggler hits a corner, and then you have to correct Mario's movement angle to continue to stay on him. Like you see there on KBZ's side, when the Wiggler makes the turn, he'll turn Mario to get back on Wiggler's intended path, and you see there's 6 different patterns that the Wiggler can do.
Oh, when he fell off, this can be very devastating. Wiggler actually does have a chance of killing you if he does some bad attacks and you can't run away from him. And each Wiggler jump attempt takes about 10 seconds, so if you get into a fight with them and run away, the Wiggler's gone and you have to start again, so it's like a humongous waste of time to drop.
You won't be seen if you fall off the Wiggler. You can actually get back on and finish the jumps to get the frog coin, but that's also risky because of the encounter possibility.
As long as you don't get into a fight, you do have a chance of making it up, especially if you dropped like early enough, but it also is kind of tricky and risky to do that.
Yeah, once the Wiggler's moving pretty fast, you gotta know where the spots are to jump on them.
Fun fact, I was actually the runner for this game in the last power-up with Pride.
So if the Wiggler keeps turning a lot, if he doesn't go in straight lines, it makes navigating Mario a little trickier because you constantly have to correct Mario's facing movement to line up with the Wiggler's intended running path.
So did Steven get through that with no errors? I don't think he dropped any Wiggler jumps.
Yeah, I think he got through no problems now.
Nice.
You see there's a hidden frog coin that you see KBZ's just now picking up. Also,
the hitbox on the chest is stupid.
Yes. And then here in this very back trunk, there's another hidden Kira color that they're going to get before they make the Wiggler wake up to expose the next part of the forest. And then at the next safe box, at the very end of that area, there's a hidden red essence, and that's going to be very crucial for the butt fight later. The red essence is probably one of the best items in the game because it renders Mario in this case when he uses it on himself later invincible for 3 whole turns.
Yeah, and you definitely need to use that in the bunt fight because the bunt cake's magic is so strong and Mario is just so weak that he has a very low chance of surviving if you don't use the red essence in that fight. Whereas Bowser and Geno, they can take hits a little bit better. Geno less than Bowser for sure, but still a little better than Mario. So here we come to like a big, huge cutscene that essentially plays itself if you have a turbo controller, and if you don't, you're gonna hurt your hands a bit here, bashing through all the text.
Yeah, so the Bowyer fight is pretty unique, is that after the first turn, he'll bring down some buttons which match your commands, and then he'll start locking different buttons that you can't use for the fight. But the thing is, this fight is actually routed so that Bowyer will lock specific buttons to allow you to get to the fight pretty easily. So as long as you time everything and don't get bad luck, this fight's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, what's interesting about Bowyer's button pattern is that, like, oh, it seems like his speed is frozen? Am I just seeing things, or is Steven's feed crashed?
Not sure. But to continue on about the Bowyer fight.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Like I was saying about the Bowyer fight, he drops those 3 buttons on the ground that he locks, and what's interesting about that is that, like, when you grew up playing this game as a kid, you probably thought it was random, but it's actually not random at all. It's based on a calculator, and the calculator is based on what attacks you use. So if you use a Y attack, it adds a certain amount to the counter. If you use an A attack, it adds a certain amount to the counter that's different from Y attack. Items don't add anything. And when the counter hits a certain threshold over the course of 2 turns, then it will actually determine which button gets locked, and that counter gets reset every time he locks a button. So that's why in the first 2 turns we do a ton of attacks, and you're gonna see Mallow do like a punch for 2 damage, and that is what makes him lock the A button instead of anything else, so Geno can start using Geno Beam, but it also does like 2 damage to him that puts him just high enough to kill him in 8 turns if you time everything else right. That 2 damage actually does matter very much, and you'll see that come up in the 2nd turn. It looks kind of funny.
Yeah, every action that you take adds a point counter. Using an attack with the A button is 2 points. A special with Y is 1, and items and defending don't add any points. And if the point threshold is over 8 or higher, he'll lock attack. If the point threshold is 4 to 7, he'll lock special, and if it's less than that, he'll lock item. 1 damage from KBZ on that Mallow punch. Hopefully he did 40 with both of Mario's jumps. I didn't quite see.
He mistimed a Geno attack as well.
Oh, okay.
So he'll have to take an extra turn anyway, so I think going for 1 damage on Mallow. Like, did he do it timed or untimed? I had to refresh the feed.
On whose side?
KBZ. Did he do like the?
It was an untimed. He just let it go.
Okay, that's actually smart. That'll save him like a little bit of time if he has to go into the extra turn.
But the way the intended damage route works, Bowyer has 720 HP, so that's divisible by 90. So just to give a quick math here, 2 Geno attacks, 1 that's energized and 1 that isn't. 2 jumps from Mario and the Mallow punch should deal exactly 180. So that leaves 5 Geno beams at 90 damage apiece to take out Bowyer. With the unfortunate for Steven's side, but KBZ could get it. If Mario and Geno are both alive on the last 2 turns of the fight, Geno can actually attack and Mario can jump. But sadly, this probably won't be the case since Mario just got killed. But you still have the 5 Geno beams to straightforward take out Bowyer. But as Pidge said, KBZ is going to have to take an extra turn because of the mistimed attack. You can make up that mistimed attack if Mario's alive on the last 2 turns, but that's only if that's the case, because Geno punch and Mario jump deals a little bit more damage than 90. So if you mistime an attack, you can make that up, but that's only in the case that they're both alive. So you get a flower box from Bowyer, so that's a big item, and you'll be selling that at the seaside as well. You don't
500 coins.
You don't use any of the flower tabs, jars, or boxes that you get in the run, except maybe later in Nimbus Land just for flower points.
Shoutouts to KBZ responding to my emotes in the chat.
So, while we're in this middle of this cutscene, every character that joins your party comes in at a fixed level and experience. So, Geno comes in at level 6, And Mario is still at level 4, and so is Mallow. So Geno is like the stronger player in the party now. And you'll see that coming up in the mines when we actually get to purchase some weapons and some armor for everyone. So coming up in Moleville, they're going to purchase a finger shot for Geno, a pair of symbols for Mallow, a punch lift for Mario, and 4 pairs of work pants. And Mario and Mallow are both going to get their weapons and armor upgraded, and Geno's going to get his weapon armor, and he's also going to equip one of the wake-up pins because he's going to be participating in the Knife Guy Great Guy fight, so that just saves an extra menu just to equip those. And the wake-up pin does actually increase your special defense, so that will help a little bit against the bombs that Croco throws, should that happen. Although I think, aren't the bombs physical, or are they magical type damage? Can't remember.
So Moleville is a pretty straightforward area. You're just kind of progressing through the mines as fast as you can and doing the 2 boss fights in here. Croco fight really sucks. It's a very RNG heavy fight. Because, I don't remember if we explained this earlier the first time that these guys fought Croco or not, but his physical attacks are blockable and his bombs are not. And, the bombs will just drive you absolutely crazy in this next fight coming up, even more so than in the first fight, in my opinion.
Yeah, even with the work pants, it's still not sufficient defense to stand up to Croco's bombs for Mario and Mallow. They'll get one-shotted instantly. I don't believe either of them got the Energizer freebie from Bowyer. If that was the case, they would use that on Geno in this fight. But yeah, Energizer freebie is pretty good if you get it from Bowyer, because then you can use it on Geno here, and that'll make his damage a little bit better. That's a good RNG roll from Steven's side. Geno getting the bomb, he can stand up to that. Now, Geno and Mallow are physical attacking, but you see Mario jumping. Mario is jumping so that the jump will not miss. Croco 2 does have a pretty high miss chance. And then once Croco has lost enough HP, we'll go into the second phase, where all he'll do is throw monsters out of his little bag of tricks, or he'll actually physically attack, both of which can be blocked.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
Bless you. It's important to be able to attack, to block all the attacks in the second phase, because he steals all your items, and then your only hope for healing would be Mallow with HP Rain, and that would kind of suck. So it's good that we can perfectly block everything in the second phase.
Shallow Mallow on KBZ's side. We're hoping for a flower box drop at the end of this fight. Hopefully one of them will get it, or both. That's really good if they get it, because then that's an extra 2 ice bombs that they get from the seaside menu.
Yeah, and ice bombs are quite the asset in this speedrun. they're usable in a ton of fights, and you buy 8 and you hope you freebie as many as possible because like up to an 8 more ice bombs can be used in later fights.
Yeah, Steven did not get the box drop. So, the Moleville Mine Star is coming up, and this star gives you 5 experience per enemy kill. So, I think KBZ has to kill an extra enemy because he didn't get enough from before. We'll have to see. Oh, I think Steven's trying to bait a bomb. Yeah, those bombs are annoying. They constantly change direction, and they're so unpredictable.
And then this room kind of sucks. Oh, no Sparky. There's a fireball that can appear in that final room. You want to get 7 hits with that star, but the fireball appearing is RNG, so when Steven saw the fireball hadn't appeared yet, he ran into the next room with the limited time left he had with that star to take out one of the bombs on the tracks. But that means when he goes back into the room to get this coin chest, which is necessary for Seaside menu, he's gonna probably get trolled by that fireball there. The fireball tries to follow you around. So you wanna, like, you have to stop grabbing coins occasionally to just, like, get away from him. And he grabs a... Oh,
I think
no!
the Sparky disappeared on KBZ.
Oh, that's really unfortunate.
Or he didn't kill it before it disappeared automatically. That's unfortunate. Mario will not be level 5 for the clowns.
Unless KBZ takes a fireball fight, which is exactly 6 EXP, and that'll fix it perfectly.
That'll fix the 1 HP or the 1 EXP that he was short initially. Because he had 13 dogs and he missed the swag rat, so he's -1 on experience. So missing an enemy. Actually, did he miss 1 or did he miss 2? I can't remember on that Mine Star. I think he missed 1.
Yeah, so he'd be if he missed 1 here and swag rat, then he's short 6 EXP right now. But that's only if he's doing the new Nimbus movement, not Nimbus movement, Lens End Star movement. If he's not, then he's fine. He needs to be short 5 and not 6. But either way, if he decides to fix that, then he can either fight an Artichoker and Booster Pass, or he can fight a Fireball and Booster's Tower. But if he chooses not to, then he's probably still going to be fine. It's not like a huge deal.
So, before the Punchinella fight, they both picked up another flower from the hovering box that was near the save point. They need that because they need 16 FP for the clown's fight, because there's no other flowers that are, like, along the path to get. And then, for Punchinello, all they do is just to keep attacking, and hopefully they get good rolls, so they can proceed to the next phase of the Punchinella fight every 2 rounds.
Punchinella has a chance of using Sandstorm on you, which inflicts fear on your party, and the fear status reduces your attack and your defense power in half. And when that happens, you have to waste a turn to recover your entire party from that. But he also, like, I'm not sure what the percentage chance is that of him using that, but you can get through the entire fight without him using it. But if he tries to use it twice, then he runs out of flower points, then you gotta dismiss you gotta wait for the dialogue to dismiss itself that says monster's FP is gone, which is ultra slow. But it looks like Steven made it through without getting Sandstorm, which is awesome. Very fortunate when that happens, and let's see if that happens to KBZ too.
Interesting. Yeah, interesting note. Every round, Punchinella's bombs get bigger, but if all the bombs launch themselves, like, as soon as they come out, the next turn, Punchinello doesn't actually do an attack. He'll actually waste his own turn spawning more bombs. So, if all the bombs launch immediately, you can actually not have to worry about a sandstorm, which is pretty neat. It's a rare occurrence, but it's something that's nice to know, especially in speedruns. Because Sandstorm is pretty bad. It's like, the fear status is like the worst thing in the game, next to a character being KO'd. So coming up is another minigame, the minecart. probably
Oh,
one of
boy.
the most fun parts of the run. But it's not all for show. There's actually coins along the mini game that they can pick up that gets added to their inventory, and that can be important for seaside menu. So they want to get as many as they can on the second and fourth sections of the minecart.
Now, these runners are going to be going for finishing the minecart in under 2 minutes is generally considered a good time, and it's a point of pride to get sub 2 minecart. Let's see if they can do it. The minecart actually, the side-scrolling section involves some very cool platforming, or at least the second screen does. The minecart is all about managing your mushrooms and just knowing when to break, but not breaking too much. So here it looks like you'd want to use a mushroom, but this section is actually very short if you look at an overhead map of there, so you don't use a mushroom there. Use it here.
Yeah, all these sharp curves, if you approach the curve at the max speed threshold...
What on earth just happened to Steven?
I don't know. Maybe he wanted the extra mushroom. I'm not sure.
Oh, I just saw him slide across the minecart track.
Oh yeah, you know why that happens? If you hold a direction when you approach a split, you actually crash.
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah, he must have held a direction. If you're going at max speed like that, yeah, if you're boosted and you hold a direction on the split, you crash because it's the equivalent of going into a curve at max speed.
Oh no, he missed the last mushrooms, but that's fine.
So on the second screen here, you see KBZ. He's going to be picking up those coins. You need those for the Seaside Town menu. You don't want to miss too many. But yeah, there's a lot.
Some bad times with the minecart, but KBZ's doing all right. He might get sub 2.
But yeah, when you approach these curves at max speed, you'll crash. So you have to actually brake a little bit to get your speed back under the threshold so you won't crash. So some of these mushrooms you'll see the boost take effect for just a small bit of time, and then we just brake to not crash on the next curve. And those hairpin turns, you really have to brake for those, because if you're going at any bit fast, like you saw there in KBZ, if you're going too fast, you'll crash instantly.
So who will be our minecart winner today? Steven gets 2:10:50.
KBZ should come out on top, maybe.
Looks like he's gonna finish up with a 2:06 or 2:07. Oh, he missed a mushroom, but that's okay. They're not as important in this room.
You could miss one mushroom there, actually.
Yeah.
In fact, that mushroom is intended to be missed.
2:06:65, so KBZ's minecart was about 4 seconds faster. The minecart actually takes a lot of practice to be able to get sub 2 consistently with. The braking can be kind of difficult to time, and the second room is also quite difficult. I found a visual cue for getting the final jumps like consistent, but it's easy to forget.
So the next area after these cutscenes is the booster pass, leading up to the booster tower. But during the pass, there is a hidden frog coin in a little bush that they're going to talk to, essentially, and they'll get a free frog coin. And then there's going to be a hidden treasure chest just before the exit on the first screen, and that contains one of the best items in the game, the rock candy. Rock candy deals 200 damage to all enemies, and it's not based on an element, so all enemies can be affected by it. And it's going to be used closer to the end of the game on the Axum Rangers fight. So you don't want to accidentally sell that item or use it before you intend to. And then on the second screen, they just exit and they go straight to the tower.
Yeah, it's if you accidentally sell the rock candy, then you have pretty much no chance to get another one unless you decide to waste 1 billion hours and try your luck with the bean belly slots.
Or you buy a bunch of regular mushrooms and go to the Mushroom Boy to try to get one that way.
Oh yeah, that's also true. I forgot about that. Some low-level runner I am.
So, now this is the point where our big boy Bowser joins the party, and he's a pretty good character when he joins. He joins at level 8, and he has great attack and defense, and magic defense all around.
We're also about to meet the best character in the game, which is Booster, for sure. He's absolutely my favorite character.
So we have one final tutorial to skip, and that's the Switch tutorial. So the default option is you don't know how to switch party members.
Yeah, we don't skip any more tutorials until Bowser's Keep now, I don't think.
So in Booster Tower, we're going to be picking up a lot of the frog coins. I think there's 8 frog coins to pick up in this area.
I think you're right. There's a lot.
Yeah, and they're all needed for the experience booster. And there's a couple of hidden goodies to pick up also. There's a flower tab here on the KBZ side he's getting ready to pick up. There's a goodie bag at the very top of the tower. It's very crucial that you don't hit any of the blue sniffits on the screen because those fights are unrunnable. You cannot run away from those, so...
Yeah, and that's pretty bad. Like, not only is it a time loss, but if you deviate at all from the EXP road in this game, then later on when you get invincibility stars, there's actually kind of a strange thing with invincibility stars in that if you get a level up animation and then you hit another enemy like shortly after that's supposed to give you another level up animation, you can't actually move until that animation finishes, but it still depletes your star timer, so you have less time to get all the enemies with, and some of the star timings are extremely tight, so you don't want that to happen.
Okay, there's the bomb from KBZ. I think this was intended.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think you're probably right. You're probably right.
I think he knows that he's behind on experience, and he wants Mario at level 5, so this was probably intended. But all you do, you just let Mallow through a Thunderbolt, and it'll kill the fireballs, and then before you fight the clowns, you need to restore your FP. So luckily there's a hidden insta-heal mushroom at the top of the tower that he'll hit to get his FP back. Ooh, don't get any more encounters, please.
Yeah, I've never seen a checkerboard room done that way. That's interesting.
That's weird. I think he wanted more coins too. I think he missed a few.
Oh,
I think he was worried about that. Although those are single coins, they're not 10 coins, so...
So, Booster's Tower has some of the coolest platforming in the game. Like, Booster's Tower done optimally looks extremely impressive.
And it's actually difficult. It's more difficult than you may think, especially the checkerboard room. One false move and you're going to lose time, and you're going to have your experience route kind of messed up. But here on KBZ side, you're going to see he's going to pick up this hidden goodie bag, and then he's going to hit the frog coin at the bottom. And then he's going to pick up this hidden mushroom, which that just restores his FP. So now he's good for the clowns, and his XP should be back on track.
Yes, he should be fine.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little different from the normal EXP route because he did that fight with Bowser and the party, and Gino as well was not as short as Mario and Mallow, but that should be fine. I don't think he should get any issues with the stars later. And even if he does, like, he'll probably still be fine.
Steven going for the curtain swag. Mario is standing clearly in the side of the Sniffits, it looks like, but if you look at the tiles on the floor, he's actually in the right. He's actually okay. It's funny how the 3D projection looks.
I wonder if either of them are going to do the stupidity behind the curtains with the hitboxes. I don't think Steven's going to go for that because I think he gets a little nervous like watching me do it. But oh, KBZ's going for it. The snippets have very, very bad eyesight, as you can see. You can actually stand right there in the curtain and they won't even notice you.
Apparently, all three of them are descendants of Mr. Magoo, apparently.
Yeah. As long as your toe is inside the corner of the tile behind the curtain, he can't see you.
That last one, like that one, that is like, holy, that's pretty risky. I'd never go for this.
I do this in every marathon. It's always like, as long as Mario's toe is inside the tile of the curtain beside the open one, you're completely safe.
The thing is, if you fail this minigame 3 times, you actually have to fight Booster, and you don't get the amulet. And you need the amulet for this run. It's so crucial. It increases your magic, or it actually increases all stats, but it lowers your speed, and that's actually critical for turn order. As you see, Mario's wearing the amulet now for this cons fight, so he's going to go last. It puts his speed below everybody else's. Because Mario has 20 speed naturally, Bowser has 18 speed naturally. But now that the amulet lowers that speed, he's going to go after Bowser, which you want in this fight. Hopefully Terrorize hits both the clowns, and then that will weaken them both so that the attacks deal more damage. And Knife Guy is weak to fire, so you're going to see Mario lot him up with the fire orb. And then you're going to see Geno and Bowser gang up on the other clown with physicals.
So like I was saying earlier about timed hits, Mario's Fire Orb, that's not actually like mashing as fast as you can. If you try to mash as fast as possible, you're actually not going to really get any Fire Orbs out, and that's like a measure that the game has, one of the many measures it's implemented to prevent Turbo actually being of any use to you.
Yeah.
You have to, like, the frame window between mashes is like about 8 frames. If you try to mash any sooner than that, then nothing's going to come out.
And and it only eats one. It only accepts the first input within that frame window, so you can't do 2 quick ones and expect them both to happen.
Yeah.
The game locks you out of any successive inputs during that particular time. So
this is a nice clean fight from Steven, and it looks like KBZ is going to be finishing this pretty quickly as well. I believe Terrorize hit both for both of them.
Yeah. I can tell by the damage, yeah.
Yeah.
They both didn't get what happened to me often.
So unfortunately, Mario took too much damage and died, but that's not gonna be a huge time loss. It just means that Bowser had to heal Mario instead of attacking Great Guy. But KBZ can make up for that by, I think, attacking with Mario on the next turn.
Yeah, it's crucial that you kill one of the clowns before they have the opportunity to team up, or they'll use the Meteor Blast, and plus it just wastes time from the text and the animation.
Alright everyone, call your shot. How many flowers is Steven gonna get on Booster Hill? Pick a number between 0 and 16?
I just made a tutorial on this, so hopefully they all get like at least 13 or 14.
Yeah,
so at the very start here, the barrels come down in the same place.
Yeah, then they start to get a little more random. In an RTA attempt, you want to get 10 here so you don't have to get any backup flowers for the rest of the run. You're set until the countdown fight. However, in a marathon, you want to get as many as possible, just in case you get double time as marching on countdown. You want to be able to do 3 sets of super jumps optimally, and that takes 36 flower points instead of 26. That's normally what I do during marathons. It has a very low chance of happening, but it can happen, and that can be kind of a scary pattern.
So, like I was saying about the barrels, at the very start, only one barrel will come down the middle. So, if you are good at audio cues, you can actually use an audio cue to judge your timing, the jump time, and you can actually touch Peach every time. Just about every 2 barrels will get you an opportunity for a flower. And then you'll see two barrels come down, but it's random. They can come down on the sides, or one will come down the center and one on the side. So that's a little bit of RNG, but once all 3 barrels come down, you can actually kind of stick it out to the top of the screen. That gives you more time to see the barrels come down, and you can actually keep jumping on the barrels You don't have to solely use the Sniffets exclusively until the final phase if you have good RNG and your jump timing is good.
So how many did Steven get? I wasn't counting.
I think he got 10?
Oh, he got 7.
7, okay.
7 is okay. I think he knows where all the backups are. If you don't get 10 flowers here, like there's flowers in the Sunken Ship, there's some in Booster's Pass, there's some in Mushroom Kingdom. There's all sorts of places to get backup flowers before the fights where you really need them.
Yeah, Sniffets are giving a little bit of a hard time on KBZ's side. These hitboxes are kind of dumb.
Steven actually, I believe, is one of the newest members of the Sub 3 Club. He just recently got his 259, and I could not be more proud. Kbz has had 257 for a little while, I believe, but he's also one of the newer runners of this game.
So as you see, there at the very end, you only have the Sniffets to work with. They give you a good boost to get up close to Peach, but you're gonna have to be very accurate on jumping on them, and hopefully you don't get 50-50'd.
So Steven got 7 and KBZ got 9. Those are both totally fine.
Yeah, I would imagine Steven's gonna pick up a couple extra flowers because he got 7.
Yeah, he'll likely pick up Sunken Ship and the 2 in Booster Pass. Yeah, there's a hidden flower on top of the Booster Pass cave, on top of the lone artichoke. So he'll pick up that one probably. He'll get the one among the 3 chests in the secret, and then everybody gets the flower in the Sunken Ship, I'm pretty sure. So before you actually fight the cake, you got to collect all of Peach's accessories from these Sniffets. And these Sniffets can move pretty quickly, and they can actually jump the pews, something you can't do, which is pretty dumb. And also, when the text box for the Sniffets won't come up until all 3 Sniffets stop moving. So if you can talk to a Sniffet pretty quickly, but you find yourself waiting for the text box, that's because one of the Sniffets is still moving out there somewhere. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, the text box won't come up until all of them stop before they change direction, and then the game will freeze for you.
So Steven got pretty good RNG with the Sniffet pattern. He was able to gather all the items very quickly. So even though, like, we talk about RNG fairly often in this run, the RNG in this game is not actually that bad. Like, I think maybe RNG constitutes maybe a 5-minute window of variation in a run, and over a 3-hour run, that's actually not terrible.
See how KBZ's Sniffets go. See right there, on that second Sniffet, the top Sniffet was still moving, and then as soon as it stopped, then you saw the text box come up.
Yeah, that's unfortunate luck, but he's still able to.
Well, that's not actually not terrible. It's when you have to wait there for about 2 or 3 seconds before the text comes up, and that gets kind of ridiculous.
I think that happened to me in a recent run.
Okay, now for the most critical fight for the first part of the run is the cake. You have to block these attacks from the chefs like accurately to take 0 damage, because you're going to need every HP that you have for the second phase of the cake fight. So right here after this first cutscene, they're going to talk about the cake, and then Mario's turn will come up next, and he's going to use that red essence that he picked up in the Forest Maze on himself, and that will make him impervious to damage and status effects for 3 turns. Because since he is the weakest character of the 3, he's very vulnerable to damage. And luckily, the one attack targeted Mario, so he's going to take no damage. That 1 damage from Bowser isn't critical.
Just gotta hope he doesn't get hit by Sandstorm, Diamond Saw, or something like that.
Yeah.
But that's pretty rare.
But Geno having full HP is good, because Geno can take 1 Diamond Saw, he can take 2 Drain Beams. As long as he's not feared. if he's fear, that's gonna amplify the damage a little bit.
Yeah, in phase 2 of the fight is when the top half of the cake starts using its magic, and this cake has incredibly strong magic. The top half can use Blizzard and Diamond Saw, and the bottom half can use Sandstorm and Drain Beam. And Sandstorm, if you recall...
Okay, don't hit Gino.
He's
okay,
fine.
that's fine.
Awesome. The Sandstorm, if you recall from the Punchinella fight, which actually never got used, inflicts fear on your entire party, and that decreases your defenses, and since spells cannot be blocked, some pretty bad news for
Drain
party
Beam,
here.
that's okay.
Oh, nice miss on Bowser!
That's a crucial miss, actually.
Yeah, because Bowser is very low on health now. Nice miss on Gino.
Wow.
Oh my gosh,
Okay.
all the misses on Steven's side.
Okay. Bowser can take another Drain Beam, but after that... And as I say that, he gets it.
Well, everyone in his party is still alive, so he can finish
Yeah,
as quickly since
he's
Mario's
still-
essence hasn't worn off.
Mario's still invincible, so he's good. But not anymore. Oh, why did he punch?
I'm not sure.
You're supposed to jump there.
Possibly because Gino threw out an attack and he might have been anticipating fear next turn or something. I'm
Ooh.
not sure.
Actually, punch is a little bit faster than jump. That's
Oh.
interesting.
Diamond Saw
it's-
Bowser with fear.
Okay, well, Steven's through the fight, barely. He only had like 7 HP combined among all 3 characters.
It was very clutch. KBZ's, unfortunately, his Bowser just died from a Sandstorm and a Diamond Saw and then another Sandstorm. But luckily, if Bowser dies, you can still get 2 hits out on the cake that turn, as opposed to if Gino dies, you can only get 1 due to the turn order. So he's going to revive Bowser, and Bowser and Mario are going to be able to toss out hits. The first time around, the Sandstorm missed on Gino, so he was in good shape. So now, if Gino dies here, he's still fine to finish up this phase of the fight without reviving him. There he goes.
Yeah,
He's still fine.
That's fine. And this is actually good, because as long as Sandstorm doesn't happen now, Bowser and Mario can actually finish the fight themselves.
Yeah, Gino's
As
not
long
really
as-
needed in the third phase.
Yeah, as long as nothing else happens. And Bowser's got enough HP, he can take another Drain Beam. So, KBZ should be good. Yeah, he's good. It doesn't matter if Mario's dead here.
Oh, nice miss.
Oh, nice miss. Okay, so KBZ is definitely guaranteed to move on now. He's good.
Yeah. Unfortunately, KBZ's RNG on this fight, his luck with the spells was worse than Steven's, even though they both got like a good amount of misses. Luckily, his only death during phase 2 was on Bowser, which meant he was still able to finish it fairly quickly. It would have been a lot worse if Gino had died.
Yeah. So if you notice, Mallow is no longer used in the game for the run, so... But he's still wearing a cymbals and his work pants, and we'll take care of that in the seaside menu. We will relieve him of his duties, literally. So Steven is coming back to the Mushroom Kingdom. This is by default when you leave Marymore. You're going to talk to the shopkeeper that you wanted to skip before. Now that you've got the cricket pie from the first Croco fight, we now return that to the shopkeeper. Or we return the rare frog coin that we got, and we get the cricket pie, and we're going to give that to Frog Fuchsius for the froggy stick, which will just get sold for coins. It actually sells for 90 coins. Pretty good. And now we go through the absolutely boring cutscene. So, you ready, Pidge?
Ready for the ABC?
Yeah.
Oh man, I was born ready for the ABC.
Like, are we gonna do what you said we were gonna do?
Oh, you mean the dicks?
Jerking off to other...
Dicks?
KBZ requested we do that.
You're welcome, KBZ.
So during this long cutscene, we're gonna go to Frogfucius here in a moment and give him the cricket pie. In addition, we have to actually talk to Frogfucius a second time to actually open up the Star Hill location. And then we'll go to Booster Pass Secret to get the last Kira Kira Cola that we're going to sell, along with another frog coin, which should make the total 22 frog coins. And that's exactly enough to buy the experience booster at Seaside Town, the frog coin shop there.
I wonder if either of them are gonna press X when they get outside of the castle. Nice Smurf on the chair on KBZ's side.
That is good. He had that planned out.
Oh, here it comes. Look at Peach. Look at Peach. Oh, what is he doing? What is he doing? Oh, he didn't do it. He didn't do it. He messed up the glitch. That's okay.
And that'd be really good. Have that Smurf pop out of behind the house here, where you talk to Peach outside. Now we know what the hidden NPC looks like.
So, professional splicer KBZ somehow ROM hacked a Smurf into this game. I can't wait to see the tweet storms about this.
It really, spoilers everyone, Gino is actually the Smurf. He is blue after all. So yeah, we might see Steven pick up those backup flowers we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, he's gonna grab this one.
He's gonna grab the hidden one here, and then he's gonna go grab the other one. Oh, he fell off. What the heck?
Oh no!
That's unfortunate.
All right, everyone, look at Peach on KBZ's side. My goodness, what is going on? If you open a menu when she calls her name and then walk over to her, the sprite gets a little messed up like that. That wastes about 3 seconds, but it's pretty much required to do in a marathon.
So now for Star Hill, it's basically every section of this area has a bunch of flowers that are dim, and you have to examine all of them to light up the entrance to go to the next area. But you also have to watch out for enemies, because there's some powerful enemies here on Star Hill, and you're still kind of under-leveled.
So be careful not to accidentally talk to any of the stars. All the stars are wishes asked for by people in this game.
And there's actually one wish, if you talk to it, actually initiates a cutscene with Mallow, and you don't want that, because it's pretty time-consuming. Actually, there's a couple of them with Mallow. One of them's not as long as the other one.
Justin, there's a question in the chat asking where you're from.
From Kentucky.
Because Super Alice in Wonderland says that she likes your accent.
But I lived in Georgia for, like, most of my childhood, so that's probably where the accent's coming from.
It's a lot nicer than my accent.
Rolling deep!
Oh yeah. So KBZ is just starting up Star Hill now, and it's going to be doing the optimal flower movement like Steven's been doing as well. Unfortunately, we're not going to see any Smurfs on Star Hill.
So coming up for Steven is the Seaside menu. The first thing we're going to do is go to the fake elder, talk to him, and that opens up the C location. But additionally, the second floor holds the special frog coin shop, which has the experience booster. And then we're going to go to our special bomb shop that's only here until you defeat Johnny. And we're going to sell off all of our items, all the Kira colors, all the flower jars, the boxes, the tabs, even all of our old equipments that we're not going to use, with the exception of the experience booster we just picked up and the amulet.
The EXP booster is an extremely important item, as it doubles the EXP per battle that the wearer gets. And the battle system in this game gives EXP to everybody that you have, not just the ones in your active party. It distributes the EXP evenly. So you can have someone who's not being used, and they will get double the experience, even if they're not in the battle.
Oh, Steven, I think, is 3 coins short of being able to buy an extra bad mushroom. That's unfortunate.
Oh, that's unfortunate, but that's also that's not that bad. I've actually completely forgotten how to do Seaside menu in any percent.
Oh, it was shorter than I thought. Okay, he did the menu a little bit differently than I do, so I must have miscounted. It's okay. But you notice that he didn't sell too many items to go over the 999 coin count limit. Otherwise, you lose any extra coins that you would pick up. So he's saving before doing the second glitch in the game, which is called ability swap. So you can actually enter the menu before you hit the star, and the star actually goes active as you enter the menu, and that actually locks you out of the menu entirely. So it kind of bypasses a little check. And what you do, you swap 2 characters in the switch menu. In this case, we're...
Oh, my heart stopped for a second there. He almost picked special level 6.
So, did he hit special level 6 or no?
No, he caught himself and picked attack.
Okay. So back to what I was saying. In this case, we swap Mallow with Peach. So Peach joins in at level 9. So the very next level up is to level 10, obviously. But what's even significant about that is that if you swap another character in with Peach, she picks up that character's level up skill at her level 10. So Mallow learns Shocker at level 10 normally, but since Peach took his place in the switch menu, she picks up all of his bonuses. So even the Shocker skill.
You'll notice when you do the ability swap that said Peach reaches level 7, Mallow reaches level 10. Well, that doesn't make sense because Peach joins your party at level 9, and that's why all of her stat bonuses show an increase by 0. That's because what the game thinks is Peach at that point is actually Mallow, so all of Mallow's stat bonuses from that level up are just null because he's supposed to be receiving Peach's stat bonuses, which are 0 because she joins your party at level 9, whereas Mallow hitting level 10, he was at level 6 going into that star, so that's actually Peach getting all of Mallow's level 10 stats and specials. It's a very, very interesting swap, and we actually use it twice in this run, so we'll be seeing that again later in the Barrel Volcano. That is the second of 2 major glitches that are used in this run, and otherwise it's a fairly glitch-free run except for the little nonsense that happened in the Mushroom Kingdom with Peach's head.
So, Calamari here, you're going to use Firebomb since Calamari is weak to fire on all phases. In the second phase there, Bowser doesn't get a turn for some reason, so Mario will use a Firebomb, Geno just skips his turn, and Mario just attacks the last tentacle. Now also, Geno learned Geno Boost during that C-Star, and he's going to use that on Bowser.
No. Oh, actually, that's
not
terrible. He should have just gone for a Fire Orb anyway.
Yeah,
it does a ton of damage.
Yeah, he should have Fire Orb. Yeah, I think he was just panicked. It happens.
Yeah, but now he's got 8 health. Oh, that's only going to do 2.
It doesn't matter because...
Yeah.
That's one thing. Every boss fight that you complete, you actually get a full restore on all your health and FP. So that wasn't terrible. Also, between fights, you're gonna see specific accessory changes made to all of our characters because we have to control Peach's experience until she gets to the volcano now, so that she does not get over-leveled to learn Geno's Genoblast later.
That's right, because you have to level up during the invincibility star in order to perform the ability swap. So if Peach hits level 14 before that star, she cannot learn her next ability swap skill, and that's bad news for the factory.
And
that's not as bad in this category anymore as it used to be. It just means that you'll be a little slower. He gets hit by the linebacker.
Steven got caught by Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers, depending on your point of view. So yeah, this is gonna hurt a little bit on time, but luckily he perfect blocked all of those, so that shouldn't matter. Nice, gets around the star on the bottom. So now we're picking up the safety ring, which is a very good accessory in the game, and we're swapping back Peach because she's gonna be used in the Urid fight predominantly. Also, she gets the safety ring we just got. That puts her speed over Geno's because Geno's got the amulet, which will lower his speed. And also the safety ring also boosts his speed also, so that's important for the turn order here. Although it really doesn't matter who uses the firebomb in these Bandana Reds fights, but Mario has to have the experience booster on because he is still under-leveled. Oh, nice dodge on KBZ's side.
That was awesome. That'll give KBZ some more time to catch up after his unfortunate cake fight.
Now, this is the point in the game where now freebie luck is pretty important when we use these bombs. I'm not sure if anyone's gotten any freebies yet.
I think I saw Steven get one on Calamari.
Okay, that's good.
Oh, and he gets another one.
That's perfect. You need 2 firebomb freebies at least. One is going to be...
I'll open up my freebie tracker.
The first firebomb freebie is going to be allocated for the Axum Rangers fight because we need to have at least 2 bombs to make that fight pretty much safe. And the second firebomb freebie gets allocated to the Dodo one-on-one fight.
I don't know if KBZ got any freebies during the Calamari fight, because I'm gonna try to track both of their freebies.
So not only do we need good movement now with all the levels that we got to go through, but now freebie luck with these bombs is going to be important. And also, what Steven here is doing, the most critical thing in this run, the 100 super jumps, and this is needed to pick up 2 very important pieces of equipment: the super suit, which you get for doing 100 super jumps in a row, and the attack scarf for doing 30. The scarf can only be used by Mario, but the super suit can be used by anyone, and everyone that's left in the party will be using that super suit at some point.
Yeah, the super suit is probably unquestionably the best item in the game. It's a plus 50 boost to all stats, including speed. The attack scarf is plus 30.
It's only plus 30 for speed for the suit.
Oh, is it only plus 30 for speed?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's plus 50 to all stats, plus 30 for speed, and the attack scarf is plus 30 to all stats and plus 20 to speed, I think?
What's that?
Steven unfortunately drops jumps, but he got pretty far with them. I think he can get 100 in this run.
Yeah, and this is why you get the Sleepy Bomb for Johnny fight, because if you did the Firebomb strat and you fail jumps, your run's over. So this just gives you 3 opportunities to get 100 jumps on Johnny. Yeah,
you can continue the run even if Peach is level 10 for Yardovich. Like, what happens here is if you drop jumps on Johnny when he has no Bandana Blues left because of the Firebomb, you actually get less EXP. If you drop jumps, he challenges Mario to one-on-one, which is 17 less experience points, I believe. And in that case, Peach is not level 11 for Yardovich, and he she doesn't do enough damage with Shocker to kill him in 4 turns, and that can be devastating.
Oh, man. Steven dropped a second time.
That's okay, he can get it. It can be extremely nerve-wracking to do this in marathons, and trust me, like, I'm sure you and I are both very familiar with that concept. But, you know what? I've got faith in both these guys. It looks like they both dropped their super jumps, but you know what? The good thing about this one is that if you don't get them on Johnny, you've got lots of other opportunities. You can do them on Belome. If you don't get them on Belome, you can do them on Jagger and Monster Town, because he doesn't take damage from jumps, so you can just keep going until you get it. So if you played this game as a kid, you probably thought the Lazy Shell was the best item in the game, but nah, it's the Super Suit. Super Suit is the best item ever. Lazy Shell is good for defense, but Super Suit makes you able to attack.
Yeah, Lazy Shell actually reduces your natural speed to 0. It reduces your attack and special attack by 50, but it increases your physical and magical defense by 127 points. Although it does protect you from all elements and all status effects, except for instant death. But Super Suit's where it's at. Pretty fun fact about the Super Suit and the Attack Scarf. If you equip both of them onto Mario and you go to fight Kulex, Mario is so fast that he gets an attack in before Kulex can even spawn the crystals. Yeah. Geno with the, I think the safety ring and work pants outspeeds Geno too, I think.
So,
or outspeeds Kulex.
I think you're right, because Geno's got very high base speed. The super jumps on Johnny, like, this not only is nerve-wracking to do, it's extremely nerve-wracking because the super jump input window decreases each time you use it until the 13th jump, where it stagnates at a 3-frame window. So the end of the super jump window always stays on a constant rhythm, but the beginning of the super jump window becomes later and later and later until it's the 13th one. So each of these jumps that Kbz and Steven are chaining, they have 1/20th of a second to land that input, and they have to chain it 87 times in a row for the 3-frame window.
And let's see, looks like Kbz got it. He got it.
The 433. Good job, Kbz.
Yeah, the damage for the 700 super jumps on Johnny in the blue phase is 866. So since he got a 50% increase to his defense when he turned red, you just cut the damage in half. So Kbz is pretty relieved that he got that. Even though he's behind, this is still a race.
That's right. Kbz was able to land the super jumps. I think both of our runners dropped the super jumps twice and finished Johnny on the 3rd attempt. Kbz got the 100 jumps, but Steven did not. So Kbz took a little longer on Johnny, but now Steven will have to make up for not getting the 100 super jumps. He'll have to do them elsewhere. But he's still got lots of opportunity, and Steven's a solid runner. I'm confident that he can get the super jumps. If not on Belome, then maybe first try Jagger, but I think he can get them on Belome. He'll be fine.
So, for the Garrett fight, Peach has to have the amulet for this fight, because it'll increase her special, and you want her to go last, because she wants to receive the Geno boost from Geno to augment her shockers that she just picked up the skill for. And then, with Geno boosting Mario and boosting Peach, they can chuck bombs as well, and you need to chuck at least 1 fire and 2 ice, preferably, to deal enough damage to Yared, because since the fire, ice, and rock candy are bombs, they're not affected by the enemy's defenses, so it just deals fixed damage, and then the Geno boost, it just increases it by another 50%. Unfortunately, Geno died to that Will-O-Wisp, so we're going to see a Mirage phase from Steven's side, but that's not a big deal. 243 is what you want to see from these shockers. The shocker is an audio cue timing only. There's no visual for it. So you're going to have to use the second shriek of the shocker audio to press the button with. And you want to see 243. Good Garrett fight on Steven's side. Now the Kira Cola, there was one that was picked up in the Sunken ship that get used on the Yared fight. If it freebies, that's kind of good, so you don't have to worry about picking up one in Bowser's Keep. But it's just a minor thing. It saves a little bit of time later. And you need to use the Kira Cola here because everyone's taking damage from that first water blast. That's always the case on his first turn. In addition, you need to restore your flower points so that Peach can continue to use Shocker. And Water Blast.
Ooh.
Now, it's very important that Geno picked HP for his first 2 level ups, otherwise he cannot survive Water Blast.
Yeah,
that's very, very crucial. We didn't talk about it, but all these level ups that these characters take, they have to pick specific level ups. Mario has to pick a special for every level except for divisible by 3, with the exception of level 3. He has to pick special for that one. Geno chooses all attack except for his first 2 levels, which are HP. But Peach chooses special for all her level ups, and Bowser chooses HP only for levels 10 and 13. And that's crucial for the countdown fight later, provided the experience route has been followed correctly.
I did notice, did Steven freebie any ice bombs during the yard fight?
He freebied a fire bomb, which is still good because I think he only got 2 fire bombs, I think. So he just has an extra one for backup.
Excellent. I'm tracking their freebies.
I'm not sure if KBZ or Steven freebied any ice though.
I don't think so. I saw KBZ didn't freebie any ice, but he did freebie a fire in the sunken ship, I believe, because he had 2 fire bombs on yard.
Okay. Unfortunately, Steven got caught trying to do, I think, the fast gecko strat. Now see, this is a risky area. You don't have the super suit yet. You gotta get there before you can kind of call yourself safe when it comes to getting into accidental encounters. Okay, he had to bail from that flower because that bee's coming, and those bees can kill you.
Yeah. You want to land on the bottom side of the flower to face upward, and then just 1 tick and you jump in the right direction, but that can be a little bit hard to position.
One thing we failed to point out on, after the Yard fight, you free the town elder, the true elder. He gives you a flower box if you surrender the star piece immediately. That's pretty important because you're gonna use that 500 coins to buy another invincibility star and a shortcut to get back to the Land's End cliff.
Steven just got an ice bomb freebie. It's very important. Oh,
yeah, you want to.
3 fire bombs actually.
Yeah, he picked up 3. I think he freebied 3 fire bombs.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and we want to see as many ice bomb freebies as possible.
So I've seen 1 ice bomb freebie from Steven so far. They've both gotten 3 fire bomb freebies, I think.
Yeah, Steven is in the lead in regards to progression, but KBZ does have the 100 super jumps in his pocket, so Steven's gonna have to do a little work to get the super suit when he gets to either Balloon 2 or Land's End, or Monster Town, wherever the case may be. So I would put KBZ kind of in the driver's seat at the moment, but that can all change.
Yeah, there's still like half the speed run to go still. So I think Steven, I've seen him freebie 1 ice bomb so far. KBZ was struggling a little bit in the first turn because he was going for the red essence, and that was just, the hitbox is just being annoying on that chest.
Did Steven get an ice bomb yet?
He got 1, yes.
He got 1? Okay.
The first Armored Ant fight, he got 1.
Okay, so ice bombs, any ice bomb freebies we get, the first 2 get allocated to solely the Tsar Dragon fight. We don't have enough ice bombs to get that far.
They're tied for freebies right now.
Okay. Yeah, so any ice bomb freebies we get go to the Tsar Dragon fight. We need 2 of them. Then after that, any extra go to Axum Rangers and beyond.
So I think both of our runners have gotten 3 fires and 1 ice.
Steven didn't get all of the geckos that he needed to on that Land's End star, which is kind of difficult anyway, so he will have to kill some extra enemies during the Nimbus star to make up for lost experience.
Yeah, that's not a huge time loss.
Yeah, it's not critical by any means. Ice bombs can be kind of stingy when it comes to freebies.
Oh, can they ever? But apparently not rock candies if you're in a marathon, from my experience. We'll see if KBZ freebie this next ice bomb. No, so I think they're both sitting at 3 fire, 1 ice. So
yeah, that's correct, Elm. Yeah, Steven's ahead, but he does not have the super jumps in his pocket, while KBZ does. So if Steven doesn't pick up the 100 super jumps pretty soon, KBZ will take over the lead physically.
Okay, so they both missed the final gecko, so they'll both have to do the land's end movement a little differently. When he opened the chest, I was like, no, he forgot to skill something. Like, no, wait, any percent.
So Steven's gonna have to do 100 super jumps. So instead of throwing the fright bomb like you normally do, if you have the 100 super jumps already, you just skip firebomb, and Gino will boost Mario, and Mario will do 100 super jumps for preferably 1,415 damage. And the super jumps are a little bit more difficult to hit on Balloon because of the animation that occurs over the sweet spot. So, super jumps.
I don't know if Steven has this muted or not. If you drop jumps on Balloon, then he makes a clone, which I should explain after. I don't know if he has this muted. Okay, so he didn't get the jumps on Balloon. He'll have to do them on Jagger, but that's fine. Jagger is pretty easy to get them on.
Yeah. For KBZ's side, the standard strat is for Peach to use the Fright Bomb, since Balloon 2 can be feared. Gino will attack him for a damage number, and then depending on that roll, will determine how many super jumps you need to do with Mario. And 180 damage is 58 super jumps, not counting the first.
So here's Jinx's dojo. If you don't get super jumps by this point, you can just come here and try until you get them, because Jagger is immune to jump, but if you do super jumps on him, it still counts. Steven, if you can hear us, I strongly recommend taking your headphones out of the call if you haven't done so already, because I'm not sure when you're super jumping and when you're not.
I would imagine they would have done that beforehand.
Yeah, I would imagine so too. I just want to be on the safe side because I know he's not deafened, but also he's the one capturing Discord audio, so that makes sense.
So definitely KBZ is going to take over the lead at this point, because he does have those super jumps already in the bag.
This can still be anyone's race though. Recently in a marathon, I did a race with Daniel where he got 100 jumps on Johnny and I got them second try on Jagger, and I still ended up winning by 5 seconds because I did a perfect Smithy too, and we both messed up different parts of the run. Like I forgot to do Manip Bowser doors and all that stuff. So it was interesting. It was really interesting.
So KBZ has to talk to that star on the second floor to progress the story. And then you get the access to the Landing Cliff, which will give you access to Bean Valley. And that's where you'll make use of that shortcut that you paid for earlier. And also, we're going to get another powerful accessory on the Land's End Cliff called the Trooper Pin. You have to scale the cliff pretty quickly to get this item. You have to get to the top in under 12 seconds, and I think Steven may have got the jumps because he ran away, so I think he's got them.
Way to go. Awesome. So, even though he had to take
Yes,
a
he
detour to
does.
do the super jumps, they're still close.
So Steven's back in the race. He's behind, but now it becomes a matter of executing those jumps and movement through the rest of the game.
Yeah, he's still behind, but this is definitely a smaller gap between the runners than it was before, so it's still going to be a close race at this point, which is awesome. Both of our runners are doing fantastic. Excellent work to both KBZ and Steven for getting the 100 super jumps.
Oh, nice swag jumps from KBZ on the balloon statues. I've never seen that before, but...
Oh, no? Yeah, that's actually, like, slower if you fall off, but it's cool as heck if you do it.
But back to the trooper pin. KBZ's gonna scale the cliff. And once he gets to the top in under 12 seconds, he's gonna get the trooper pin from the captain here. And it's an accessory that gives you an automatic Geno boost to the equipped character. So that eliminates the use of Geno boost. Oh, he fell off, so he has to start over. But the trooper pin is a very, very good accessory. And the Geno boost is always active unless it gets debuffed by the Shredder attack, which you only see from Smithy. So even if the character is knocked out and you revive him, you don't have to Geno boost him to get that effect. But unfortunately, it only provides an attack boost. It does not provide any defense boost whatsoever. And Geno actually uses the super suit we just got and the trooper pin. And then Koopa gets the safety ring for the Mega Smilex fight. So we have two characters that are protected from transformations now that could be used in this Smilex fight coming up. So the super suit defends against transformations, and so does the safety ring. And also blocks elemental damage as well, so that's another key thing. But Mario does not make use of that attack scarf yet because he still needs experience, so he does have the experience booster on here.
Now I hope our runners can freebie an Ice Ball and Mega Smilex, because you want to have at least 2 for Zar Dragon or Bear Volcano.
Yeah, they'll have one shot on Zar at least, if not here. Ooh, KBZ has to super jump a Smilex because the Bowser roll was enough. Okay, he's good.
Awesome. I believe you only have to do 5 super jumps there. But I didn't catch how much damage Bowser did, so it's probably...
I think it was 98.
Oh, okay, yeah. If the attack was like mistimed, you'd want to do more, of course, but
yeah,
he's doing good. Alright, so both our runners on the same boss fight, still a close race. I'm really enjoying this. Oh, no more ice freebies, that's unfortunate.
Well, he did get one, yes.
He got one, so if he freebies that one on Zardragon, then he's home free,
Yeah.
but if not, then ugh, super jumps on Zardragon are the worst.
But at least it's 24, not 42.
That's right, you're absolutely right. As a Beat Cool X RTA runner, like, I feel the pain all the way over here.
So as you see, those ice bombs deal 420 damage when Koopa used it, or when Geno used it. That's because the trooper pin also increases that bomb damage I talked about. And the base damage for ice is 140, but if an enemy is weak to an element, it doubles the damage, and plus you get the 1.5 on top of that, so that equals 420. You'll see that on Zardragon when he takes an ice bomb to the face.
So Steven did freebie a second ice bomb here, so he's safe for
Okay.
Zardragon.
And he can still freebie those two on Zar, so he can come out better when it comes to the ice, for sure.
We're gonna be seeing quite a few 420s later in the run. Ice bombs on Gunyulk, ice bombs on Zardragon.
A punch on Valentina, maybe?
Oh yeah, there was one time I had a run where I rolled 420 with Mega Glove 3 times in a row, and I wish someone had clipped that. I wish that I had highlighted that. I'm still mad that I lost that highlight.
I got a 420 in my PB on Valentina.
Nice. I think I rolled 420 twice in a row when I did a run for Roll and Deep Marathon, or maybe it was my PB. Either way, it was one of my most of the stuff runs.
Now, for this Nimbus menu, there is the option of picking up the War Fan, but that's only for the one attack that you use against Smithy 2. It's faster, but it doesn't deal a lot of damage. Or you can opt to pick up the Super Slap Glove in Bowser's Keep, and Peach can use that. It's kind of a preference what you want to do, but I think most people will go for the glove just because it deals more damage.
I think the Super Slap is the standard strat again now because Warfan was deemed unsafe for Smithy 1. Like, there's no guarantee that you'll actually do enough damage to kill him with the Warfan if you don't have any bombs, so they went back to Super Slap, I believe.
Well, I always do...
Yeah.
I still have it in my muscle memory, so I always do double hundo usually if I don't have bombs, and it works out anyway. Critical thing for this Nimbus menu, don't sell the attack scarf.
Yeah.
Okay, it looks like KBZ picked up the War Fan. Yeah, KBZ picked up the War Fan.
That's fine. That's still gonna work at like 99% of the time. I think Steven might go for it too, because I don't think these guys were around for the discussion of bringing the Super Slap back, because that hasn't even been put back in the notes yet. No, he's got to sell first, Steven.
Yeah, you gotta sell first.
You gotta sell first.
Oh, he had a lot. Okay, he's gotta take his time.
You sold the War Fan.
That's okay.
Okay.
No, don't sell that.
Don't sell that. He's got to buy the War Fan. Oh, no, he didn't sell the War Fan. He didn't have it to begin with.
He didn't have it to begin with.
Fine. Yeah. He's good.
Oh, he's got to put the scarf. There you go.
Yeah, he's got it.
And okay.
There we go. Good stuff.
Yeah, it's very crucial that Koopa wears the Troopa pin. For basically, he's going to be wearing it all the way through to the end of the game, just about, because he's going to be the main bomb chucker, and plus, he has the fastest item use animation out of all the characters, so it's optimal just to have him with the pin. So you won't see Peach come back into the party until one fight in the Vero Volcano, and then she'll be out again until the Inner Factory. So this is just another extended cutscene break.
So both of these guys should have a firebomb for Dodo.
Yeah, they do. They both have firebomb for Dodo, and I do believe they have an extra firebomb for Smithy 2 or anywhere else that they deem necessary to use one. So now coming up is the Dodo statue minigame. You have to avoid being pecked by Dodo when he marches down to peck all the statues in frustration. You can only fail this one time. If you fail it twice, you have to fight Dodo and you lose the feather. And you need the feather.
Pretty bad.
And you need the feather because it provides a big speed boost, and that's pretty critical for the Zard Dragon fight.
So you'll notice in the Dodo minigame, when Dodo goes to peck Mario and Mario jumps, and Dodo doesn't notice it, that's not just Dodo being dumb. That's a case of, if you look at Dodo's sprite, when he leans his head back to peck the statue, his helmet actually slides over his eyes. That's why, so he can't see you jumping, so he pecks into nothing. He's like, oh, what the heck's going on? So he just looks, he's like, well, nothing seems abnormal, but he doesn't get paid enough to care, so he just ends up leaving after a while.
Fact, he doesn't even get paid at all. Count it!
Yeah.
Dodo's got a lot of brasso on that beak, I'll tell you that.
I love how Dodo doesn't talk, he just kind of looks at the camera to be like, what?
Now he's gonna break the fourth wall. So now Mario loses his disguise. So now Mario has to infiltrate the castle, and he has to find 2 keys to unlock 2 locked doors. And he also has to get around a couple of heavy troopers that are blocking the door. Ooh, he fell off. No, there's... Is he really going to try this? He's going to run and then use the invincibility frames of the enemy to use as stepping stone. Oh, he got hit. Okay, never mind.
That'll definitely give Steven a little bit more time to catch up.
Yeah, and getting no encounters is now important than ever because, yeah, sometimes you won't be able to run with any character on the first turn. Okay, KBZ does not pick up the flower jar. So here comes the first heavy trooper skip. He gets it. There's like 1 square tile of width that's between the door frame and the trooper that you can just walk through. So for the Birdo fight, you have to deal 500 damage or attack the shell 5 times. So on Geno's first attack, he's going to boost Mario, and then everyone attacks again on the next round to break the shell. And then once Birdo is released, once Birdo's been damaged 3 times, she's going to get angry and fire eggs, which could bounce off of someone who's defending and end up being a bomb. So we're just going to use Mario to attack 3 times. And then on the 3rd turn, if Birdo's still alive, we're going to use that bad mushroom we got from Seaside to deal the remainder of the damage needed. Oh man, KBZ's gotten 230s already.
Oh, there he's got 2.
Okay, he's got enough. Okay, he's got 2 bad mushrooms, so he's got 1 for Dodo, but that's not necessary because he's got a firebomb.
Yeah, but also that at least means that he won't have to use a physical on Smithy 1.
Yeah. So now the fan skip, which is a pretty key skip. Oh, I was afraid of that. The fan was going to blow, and then if you're not properly lined up, if you're out too far, you get blown off the balcony. That's unfortunate. Oh. That's unfortunate. Come on. Run away. There we go. Sometimes, in a race setting, it's probably just better just to take the encounter if you get it, and just run, than trying to get the skip and get blown off. But it worked out. He's still ahead. But that second, there's actually an easy setup to skip the second heavy trooper there. You can actually line yourself up against the statue on the right, and then hold upright, and you just breeze right by. There's a riskier setup using the stairs, but it's faster by frames. So they're both still in the same cutscene, so this is still close. Now it comes down to who can get those super jumps and who can avoid encounters. Both of them will have to kill an extra bird during this Nimbus Star because they didn't get all the geckos in the Land's End Star. And this is kind of critical because Peach's experience is about to hit 14. Because she just leveled up to 13 during the Smilax fight. KBZ is saving.
We went back for the one bird, very good. They'll both need to do that.
Steven does not save. He's confident in his movement.
He's confident in his dodo blocks, it would seem. He might have skipped the safety save because he knows he's a little bit behind. But they're actually very, very close. They're both gonna go into Valentina like maybe 20 seconds apart.
Yeah, the Valentina fight? Uh-oh, what happened to KBZ? Okay. He must have forgot. He must have forgot he wasn't in the cutscene. Okay, so the Valentina fight here is divided into 3 stages. The first stage, Dodo comes in and whisks away the center party member, which is Bowser, into a one-on-one fight. And if you lose against the one-on-one fight, it's a game over. And Dodo's attacks are pretty difficult to block sometimes. His regular attack is hard to block for me, but the multi-strike that he does is actually pretty free. But they both have a firebomb, so actually the fight is pretty trivial. You just chuck a firebomb, and hopefully Dodo will not counterattack too much, and you can just kill him with a normal attack. One thing we failed to mention, starting with the Mega Smilax fight and beyond, bosses can now do counterattacks. So Mega Smilax can deal counters, Dodo can counter. I don't think Valentina can counter.
No, she can't.
But you will start to see counterattacks from a lot of bosses now. Especially in the endgame. And a good way to tell if an attack is a counter, the counterattack is always a physical attack. It's never a spell. So if the counterattack happens immediately after they take damage, it's a counter. But if you notice a slight pause before they attack, that's their actual turn.
Nice 420.
There's a 420.
He's popping off in the chat now.
And that's like what, the second one?
Yeah.
Second attack. He could get 2 more like you want.
Oh yeah.
So Mario's in no danger of dying, even with the attack boost. But Geno and Bowser still have to attack at least to make up for 1 round of attacks. Oh, 398. See that?
See another 420.
See that multi-strike there?
Was that 420 or 428 from Steven? I didn't see.
Okay, Valentina's done on KBZ's side.
I thought I saw 420 on Steven's side, but it might have been 428 because I don't have my glasses on.
Well, there was a 402. Not exactly 420, but I'll take it.
I saw at least one 428. It might have been 2, but it might have been 428 and 420. So
Bowser has to take HP here. The reason Bowser has to take HP for level 10 and 13 is so that if he makes it to level 14 before countdown, he'll have 134 HP. And if he takes 1 Dark Star attack, he'll be left with 1 HP. And that's kind of critical in the case that countdown decides to be bad with RNG. It's solely to increase your chances of making it out of the fight without much problem.
And if you, the reason that you take them specifically at levels 10 and 13, not any others, is that the way that the stat bonuses work in this game is every time you level up, you get a small increase to each of your stats. But you can choose one of the 3 stats to give an additional bonus to. At certain levels of the game, some of those stats will offer more of an additional bonus than they do at other levels where they're offered. So like, at level 2, for instance, you get, if you choose special, you get a big bonus to special, whereas you get a small bonus to attack or HP if you choose it. So 10 and 13 are HP levels. If you choose HP at 10 and 13, the extra bonus that you get for HP is enormous, and whereas in other levels it would be a lot smaller.
Yeah, the game intended for you to take your level up bonuses in a pattern alternate. You're supposed to alternate between each one every 3 levels. But we take full advantage of that solely for HP to get the biggest HP boost possible. That's why Mario takes attack at levels 6, 9, 12, and 15, because he gets more attack power. Because he gets more attack power on those levels than he would any other level bonuses. And it's actually crucial that he picks special for levels 5, 8, and 11, and 14, because special gives out more special on those levels. Or even level 2 at the very start of the game, because he gets an extra 3, I think he gets an extra 3 special. And if you didn't do that, that factors into your super jump damage. So you may have to do more super jumps on a boss if you don't have the proper stats.
So KBZ is going back to make a safety save just in case he misses ability swap. This is a very long backtrack to make a safety save, but it's honestly not a bad idea. I've definitely lost runs to that before when Daniel or GT was making me laugh at something and I missed the menu.
Yeah, so Steven took the lead again, but they're basically tied. Let's just call it tied.
Steven takes the lead because he opted not to take the safety save, so they're extremely close.
So, now, this is the other crucial swap. Peach is going to level to 14 during the star, and we're swapping with Geno to get Geno's Geno Blast. In addition, we're doing an equipment swap. We're giving Peach the super suit here for the Corkpodite fight, so that her Geno boost will get augmented with that extra 50 special. And the enemies are also weak against ice, which is also the element of Geno boost. Nice. Steven got good spiky spawn luck. That's pretty good. So Peach is actually Geno here. So Geno reached level 13, Peach reaches level 14.
I don't think KBZ hit enough enemies. I think he hit 7. I didn't see Geno level up there. And by Geno, I mean the real Geno, like the one that would have had a Peach sprite.
So the different...
Okay. That's okay. Yeah. Being level 15 for Zardragon as Mario is not crucial.
Yeah. He'll reach level 15 for the Axum fight regardless. And getting into encounters, especially, is very, very crucial, because if you get into an encounter against the Stumpet, you cannot run from it. And a neat thing with Geno Blast on Peach is you get to see Pink Geno.
Yay,
it uses the Geno Blast sprite, but it keeps Peach's color palette, which is predominantly pink.
Also, to add on what you were saying earlier about when you take certain level up bonuses, you don't choose, even though like attack is extra boosted at multiples of 3, you actually don't take it at level 3 for Mario, because at that point, like, his physicals are useless compared to his jump, so you want to boost up and jump with the extra special. That's like the one exception. Is kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mentioned that before, but he takes attack on every level divisible by 3 except for 3.
Oh, Steven misses the stomp escape. Oh no.
Oh no. I don't know. He doesn't have Geno back in the party. That's kind of bad.
He hasn't done that.
You're supposed to swap to Geno, get Geno back in the party before you do the skip, in case you miss, because Geno can actually kill Stumpet with the Geno Whirl. It does deal 9,999 damage. But since he didn't do that, he has to struggle with this fight a little bit.
Okay, he's fine. KBZ going into Zardragon?
I don't know if Steven realizes that, or if he does the equipment sometime later, but... Uh-oh.
They both got a spiky encounter there.
So for the Zardragon, you want to boost Mario, and you want to time boost it, so he gets a defense boost also, because Mario is still vulnerable. And Bowser did not freebie that Ice Bomb, so he's gonna have to super jump, I think.
Yeah, he will have to super jump. KBZ only got one freebie. Okay.
Steven picked up the flower jar from Nimbus, so he used it there to get some more FP.
Yeah, that's a good strat, as opposed to using the maple syrup. Save it for later. So he did remember to do the menu. Steven does his menus quite a bit later than I do when you have large windows to perform them, so that's... he definitely remembered, so that's good.
So, once Czar's dead, he brings up his zombie form, Zombone. And, basically you attack with Mario twice, and depending on the combined damage will determine how many Ultra Jumps you do. Ultra Jumps are a little bit different than Super Jumps in the sense that they're a little bit more powerful, they have a bigger, I guess, damage, base damage. But the jumps are a little slower, but the timing windows are a little bit different. The timing window starts off at 100 frames, and for every successive jump, it will decrease by 10 frames until you get to the 10 frame window, and then it decreases by 1 frame until you get down to 2 frames. So once you get to jump 18, the ultra jump timing is 2 frames.
Did we go over why super jumps suck on Zardragon?
No, I was getting ready to get to that.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Zardragon is different to super jump on into the fact that since he oscillates, which means that the super jump timing is a little bit different for every jump. On fixed enemies that are grounded like Johnny and Balone, super jumps are, I think, 45 frames apart if you hit on the exact same frame every time.
And that's why when you saw KBZ had to super jump the Zardragon, but he dropped a little bit early and had to make up for it with a hit from Bowser, but that ended up transforming him to Zombone, so he was totally fine. Since Steven has level 15 Mario and KBZ had level 14 Mario, Steven's fight I think is a little faster despite the fact that he got the Helio spawns and I don't think KBZ did. Super jumping Zardragon is obviously much slower than using an Ice Bomb. But, and also being level 15 makes you have to do less ultra jumps and makes you do more damage, but it's not a big enough difference that's like really all that important. Like you don't have to reset if you don't get enough hits in Barrel Volcano Star, but I think that that will give Steven like a little bit more time to catch up. Like they're both going into the Axum cutscene now, so it'll be still in very close race.
One thing you noticed when they did the menu there, they gave Bowser the super suit, but they also removed his weapon, and that is to remove the randomized damage from his attack. We don't want any, because he can actually deal, I think, less than expected damage, and that can ruin the fight, and also it just makes the attack even faster.
Yes, that's right. Like we were saying at the start of the run, when you have a weapon equipped, that is the only time when you will actually deal RNG-based damage. Bowser's unarmed attack in this fight will always do, I think, 172 damage to Axum Red and the ship.
174.
174, that's right. It used to be 180, but then we started taking HP instead of attack on 2 levels.
Yeah. And also, remember, Bowser still has the Trooper Pin, so he's going to throw this rock candy. It's going to be automatically boosted, so it deals 300 damage to all the Rangers at once. This is where the rock candy is used. And hopefully we get a freebie, because then if that's the case, the strats kind of deviate, and Geno can actually boost Mario immediately, and then Mario can use the freebie rock candy to take out all the Rangers but Red. And that really simplifies the fight, and unfortunately, KBZ did not get it, so he has to go with Firebomb. And it's very key that Pink dies before she goes, because not only does she heal her fellow Rangers, but she also attacks with Petal Blast, and that will pretty much shut down everybody. You don't want that.
I didn't notice if Steven freebied any Ice Bombs on the Zardragon fight.
I think he super jumped also, I think.
No, Steven? No, he had 2 Ice Bombs, I believe.
Oh, he did? Okay. Well, we're about to find out anyway. If he gets the rock candy freebie, it won't matter, obviously.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, he did not.
Oh,
and
he's got 2 fire. Nice. Okay. So, they don't have Ice Bombs, so they're going to have to do Ultra Jumps on all the other Rangers at least once to take them all out. And then, we're going to boost Mario, and then we're going to set up the turn order so that we go into the ship phase with Mario ready to attack. and boosted.
So there are 4 different strats for this fight, but they both have to do the same one because neither one of them freed the raw candy and neither one of them had an ice bomb. But Steven's super jumps were a little luckier. I think he got 1 hit on each, whereas I saw Kbz hit X and Black 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, so once the ship attacks, he's going to use the Breaker Beam, or Justice Breaker in Japanese. It's going to kill Gino unless he's blocking, like on KBZ's side. But it's crucial that you get that 1 attack in with Mario first, because once the Breaker Beam goes off, he's going to skip his next turn to recharge the beam, and that gives you enough time to kill the final phase. And looks like Steven had to heal Mario. You need Mario at least 61 HP going into the final phase. Boosting Bowser, that's not necessary. I guess he's kind of afraid a little bit. I'm interested to see where his HP was. This shouldn't be necessary, he's got the suit.
Interesting. I wonder what the thought process was there. Probably just safety. Might have been afraid of mistiming an attack or something.
Well, at least Bowser's got 69 HP. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Okay, so now that the Axum Rangers are defeated, we get our 6-star. That leaves only 1 or 2 locations left to check where the final star piece could be. But we have no way of getting there. Smithy took out the bridge at the very start of the game, so we're gonna get on the bus.
I wonder if either of them are gonna attempt Nimbus Manip.
Not sure. We'll have to explain the manipulation once we know what they're gonna do. But there are 2 ways to manipulate the Bowser Doors and Bowser's Keep. There is the simpler manipulation called Mario's Pad Manip, and the other one is Nimbus Manip. But Mario's Pad Manip sets the doors exactly to specific RNG if you do the manip correctly. So the doors are always the same. But for Nimbus Manip, you have a couple of different flowcharts that you have to use. But you also have to advance the text on a specific frame. I think KBZ and Steven are probably going to do Mario Pad Manip since it's the safer option.
Yes, Mario's Pad Manip is essentially guaranteed as long as you know how to use a D-pad. Nimbus Manip requires a lot of perfect movement, a 7-frame audio cue window to press a button on, and a flowchart. Whereas Mario's Pad is like, if you can hold a controller, you can do Mario's Pad Manip. I think Steven will probably go for Mario's Pad Manip. KBZ, yeah, it looks like KBZ's going for Mario's Pad Manip too.
Yeah, KBZ. Oh, he pressed the button. Does that mean did he do Nimbus Manip?
I didn't notice.
He's probably trolling us. I wasn't.
Probably.
Well, we're gonna find out anyway. So
we're probably gonna see a Smurf on screen in the next.
wait! I got a good idea.
He's trolling in the chat.
I got a good idea. Here in this cutscene where the cloud flies in, he's put a Smurf poking out of the castle. You'll probably do that now that I said that. Even out the side of the castle, yeah, he's gonna do Mario Pad Manip. Yeah, you get that cutscene, you're at the very start of the keep, and then you go back to Mario's Pad, save, reset your game to reset the RNG, and then you do specific movement just to get out of Mario's Pad, and then the RNG is set. And as long as you enter Bowser's Keep, the next location you enter, you can go around the world map 1,000 times, and you'll still have the correct manipulation.
And it's fairly easy to perform because of the way that the boundaries work in Mario's Pad due to its isometric shape. Like pretty much you're always gonna get the same movement in Mario's Pad, even if you like don't press down enough. You're still gonna exit at the same time as if you did. And then what's interesting about the RNG here is that even in Bowser's Keep, if your movement's not perfect, the doors are set as soon as you enter Bowser's Keep. So none of that is based on any imperfections that might happen in Bowser's Keep. So like that makes that very easy. But the same is not true about things like freebies or other RNG-based things. So that's why you can't like minute most things in the game. Just this and terrapins. So here's the Dr. Topper quiz on KBZ's side. There are 40 different questions in a pool of questions, and they're all picked randomly. So if you're speedrunning this game and you want to have a competitive time, you have to memorize the Japanese Dr. Topper quiz. It's actually not that hard because, like, if you get a certain question, okay, so KBZ's struggling a little bit, but he should be okay if he gets the rest of them correct. If you are learning this game and you're doing the Dr. Topper quiz, if you get a certain question...
No, you failed.
Oh, he failed it. But if you get one particular question, it always has the same 3 answers, and those 3 answers are always in the same order. So you can ignore the question entirely and just memorize what the answer sets look like. Oh, that was the top one.
Yeah.
Bottom. Kinoko is always correct, yeah.
Oddly enough, the majority of the questions have the second answers correct. So, if it's a character set that you're not familiar with, just take a guess and go for the second one. More than likely, you'll be right.
So, I saw Steven warming up with this Dr. Topper quiz a little bit before he did the run, and it looks like KBZ's struggling a bit with it. And Steven gets it first try, which actually is going to put him in the lead now.
Not by much, if KBZ just keep up.
If he gets one more...
13.
Awesome. Now we're basically tied. Oh man.
Just in time. I called it just in time. 13. 14 on KBZ's side. Oh, I was one off. Daggone it. This
is one hell of a race, everyone. This is a very close race. I'm excited to see how the rest of this goes. We still have the great equalizer of Countdown coming up, though, so anything can happen. It's always exciting when the 2 racers are trading leads like this after they've had to diverge a lot of the stuff that they were doing. I hope these guys both practice their marathon.
What did you say was the great equalizer again, Pidge?
Countdown.
Okay.
3, 2... Nice. Okay, so both of our runners were good little students and they did not forget their marathons. So they're gonna both make it out of the door. The marathon segment, like the Topper quiz, is also randomized. There's 4 answers you can get, but which of the monsters says which is always switched up. So you have to remember which one corresponds to which place.
Yeah, and there's an easy way to tell in Japanese. If you see a number, 4 is actually 2, 3 is actually 4, and then for the other 2, if you see the first line of text, there's 5 characters in a row, and then there's a space, that's 3. Since there's no number, and then if you see repeating characters in, like, the other one, that tells you that's 1.
I just look at the last 2 letters.
Yeah, most people just look at text. Or the last 2 characters. I actually look for the numbers. That's a dead giveaway if you just keep in mind.
The numbers and the spaces is a very good strat because it doesn't require you to know what any Japanese letters look like. I just didn't realize that when I was learning the game, so now I can't break away from my visual cue, just like I can't break away from pressing every friggin' button on the controller with Super Jump.
So the barrel puzzles, it's all about just kicking the balls in the correct order. That came out kind of wrong, but whatever. We're just gonna roll with it.
So they're both doing the same strat. They're both doing the optimal barrels. There's a slower but easier to remember strat, but these guys both nailed the optimal one. Good stuff to both runners.
What's crucial about doing these Bowser doors, especially the 2 puzzles and the 2 action doors, is that you're going to get a big set of bombs for the rest of the run. You're going to get 4 rock candies, another ice bomb, and another fright bomb that are used for the end of the run.
So Steven went around the invisible platforming room a little slowly, but still maintaining a bit of a lead. Oh, he got donkey skip. I don't even know how to do donkey skip, dude. Good stuff, Steven. Oh no, and KBZ falls down in the barrel room. That's unfortunate. This room can be kind of a pain, but you know what? I have faith in KBZ.
Yeah. It's not an easy room to get around either.
And Steven falls in the lava on the platforming room. This room is extremely annoying. I definitely sympathize with him. Fell in the lava like 40 times in my most of the stuff, baby.
So, I don't believe either of them got the Kuro freebie from the Yared fight, so they're going to pick up a Kira Cola in this long lava room at the very end. And you need that, and you need that Kira Cola for the Smithy 2 fight.
Yeah, definitely. They're both struggling a little bit with the lava platforming rooms, but, you know, these rooms are going to give any runner a hard time. I can't believe how close this race is, like over 2 hours in. This is exciting. Definitely drop both of these runners a follow. SMRPG I think is actually like the only game they have in common, because I think Steven's learning DKC3 and KBZ is like the DKC1 god. But I think he also runs DKC3 a little bit. I can't remember if he does.
He's ran all of them.
Okay, so they also both have DKC3.
Yeah, I think they all. I think KBZ has ran all 3.
Yeah, KBZ. I think he was the winner of the DKC All Stages tournament. He either got first or second. Oh no, he fell in the lava.
Okay, so the Fright Bomb we just picked up is being used on the Magic Koopa fight here, and that actually reduces his magic attack. Because his magic is really powerful if he's at full strength. And none of the characters are in danger of dying from any magic attack, so you just attack with everybody, and he's pretty much done, as long as you don't miss-time anything. Because if he's still alive after his second turn, he's going to spawn a creature for you to deal with, and that's just going to slow you down. After that, Mario gets the super suit back from Bowser, and Bowser re-equips the Hurley Glove, and Geno gets the safety ring for the next stretch of the game. Because there won't be any equipments going on until after the Earthlink fight after this one. Oh, Eason won the DKC tournament for Kalars. So for the Boomer fight, since you resetted the game, it also resets your it resets your cursor on your special attack menu, so it's jump is automatically default here, so you don't have to worry about selecting it or moving your cursor. But you just do one jump. Oh, that dealt exactly 250. So 47 super jumps on Boomer will deal 1,760 damage, and that should kill him. Ooh. Big skewer attack on Mario. Luckily, he's got the suit, so it won't outright kill him. Boomer can counterattack, though, before you get a chance to super jump. So it's just a time waster if he does. Nothing too big. No counter from Boomer on KBZ's side, because Geno's attack came up immediately, or his turn did.
So I want to do about 1760.
Oh, it's just a little short, so an attack will just about do it.
Ooh, should have used Geno
Oh.
Beam.
Yeah. Boomer's alive with like 10 HP, but that's no big deal. He just attacked.
Red Boomer has extremely high physical defense.
Yeah.
Blue Boomer has extremely high special defense.
Low, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because in the blue phase, you can attack and it deals a crap ton of damage.
So
It's, it's almost like attacking Mage Head.
Yeah. So KBZ landed the super jumps without dropping, so that'll help him catch up a little bit in a race that's already very close.
Now for the Freya boss fight. At the very start, Mario's going to use jump on the eye that's on the right side of the screen. And that will deal over 300 damage, and that will remove Exor's protection. And it actually, I don't know if it was intended, but it actually removes Exor's instant death protection.
Yeah,
so
let me say it removes his protection. It removes all the protection. Like he's not even protected from crits like every other boss in the game.
So Geno is free to use the Geno Whirl, which normally can't be used on bosses, and it actually kills Exor in one shot. So the one time that you can use Geno Beam on a boss, you use it in the speedrun. And with that, we're coming to the final stage of the game, the factory.
These guys are like 10 seconds apart right now. This is wild.
Countdown may be the ultimate decider.
Okay, I was wrong. They're like 6 seconds apart. Just dropping some emotes in the chat.
For those that weren't aware, Countdown ended my run yesterday, and I was on world record pace, potentially. It was so bad. Because of Countdown's devastating attack options, yeah. Countdowns, especially the bells, have deadly spells. Has Dark Star, Fear Roulette, Ice Rock, Time is Marching On. There's just so many combinations of attacks on the wrong targets is devastating.
I got double Time is Marching On during RPG load.
What happened in my run?
6 flowers.
Yeah. What happened in my run, I got Fear Roulette on Bowser. Bowser is not protected from instant death while the other two characters are, so he died. And then Dark Star came, and Bowser could have took a Dark Star hit, but not Geno, and Geno was ultimately the target, and Mario was all by himself, and that just makes the fight so hard to deal with. As you see, KBZ is saving. Did Steven save too? I don't think he did.
Wow, they are. I don't think so. They're like exactly.
Okay.
Time.
Anyway, first thing you do.
No, wait. He might have because like
Yeah.
Steven, I think, was further ahead than he is now.
You ultra jump every target at least once, and Geno will boost Mario, and then Bowser will chuck a rock candy since he still has the Trooper Pin for 300 damage, and hopefully everyone is alive and well after turn 1.
Oh, Steven did an untimed boost on Mario. That's risky.
Yeah. He probably saved.
He probably knows how close this
Oh
is.
no, the unfortunate Ice Rock on Bowser. That kills him.
Oh, that's too bad.
That's the worst outcome.
Well,
if that would have targeted anyone else, that'd have been fine.
But
KBZ gets mushroomed. Oh boy,
yeah,
this will
they're
be
in the
fun.
same boat. They're gonna have to use the same strat now.
Now, yeah, everyone's gonna have to heal Bowser, and then this is gonna go to probably Aurora Flash. Okay, that's fine on Steven's side. Mario's fine.
He doesn't... Oh, he does have enable juice. That's right. He does.
Yeah. They should have bought one.
That's right. They do buy one in Nimbus Land. Sometimes buy freshen up by accident, but that's whatever. It's gonna do the same thing.
So yeah, you want Koopa able to throw a rock candy. He deals a lot of damage.
Wow, they both only kill the left bell. But,
wow, KBZ gets Fear Roulette on Bowser again. Fear Roulette killed Bowser. Man, trying to keep a good man down. Gee. And Steven's out of the countdown fight. Now, on Countdown's second turn, he uses Recover, and that skips his next turn. Boom. Oh, nice. Okay, I just now saw it. Alright, I must be behind. Okay, now that we're past Countdown, now it's going to be movement through the factory. Who can avoid all of these enemies in the factory? If you get into an Axum Ranger encounter and can't run, that's devastating. That's going to really eat up time. So Mario being able to run immediately is paramount.
Steven misses the Bowyer skip but is able to run right away. Now getting past this Axum section is critical. Oh no! Ooh. Oh, he runs right away.
He got by the first one. He's taking his time. He's taking his time. I don't blame him.
Slowly.
Waits for the Bowyer to pass and he can get by. Nice.
Okay. Now let's see if KBZ can catch up here. Oh no, he also misses Bowyer skip.
Gets a quick run. Steven's gonna have to do 37 jumps because I don't believe either of them freebie rock candies.
Yeah, I did not catch if they did freebie any rock candies or not. Oh, but KBZ gets fast Axums. So he's gonna... That gives him a little opportunity to catch up because Steven did the Axum segment very slowly. Okay, so if you get a rock candy free from the countdown fight, you can actually use it here. You do 20 super jumps instead of 37, and Koopa has to chuck the rock candy, not Bowser. I've seen people throw the rock candy with Geno by mistake, and he's Koopa, not Bowser?
Yeah, or Koopa, not Geno. Sorry.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm kidding. Okay, so KBZ opts to throw the rock candy, so that is going to tie them again after that unfortunate countdown fight.
He may have freebied one. I didn't catch it, but he got a drop anyway, so it doesn't matter. He gets an extra rock candy. That's a 25% chance on Yared if he gives you a rock.
He's gonna save before Earthlink. That's actually not a bad idea because I've seen people lose runs to poison.
Yeah, that's actually devastating. Even with Mario boosted, he can still die. I mean, the enemies are just getting stronger and stronger, and your levels are not going up to counter that.
I think KBZ is a little bit more consistent with super jumps, but he also is a little bit behind, so I'm curious to see like who'll be in the lead after this fight. Just because, like, super jumping on Earthlink has a little bit of delay between the super jumps, so your muscle memory is just slightly thrown off. Nice 69 damage on Geno.
Nice. Earthlink gave a physical.
Awesome. That's great news for Steven.
Okay. 64 super jumps, and these super jumps are a little different because they're spaced apart a little further than normal because of the lag from the cloaker animation.
So far, so good for Steven.
Nice. Another physical and a miss on KBZ's side. This is going to get sick.
Steven's doing great with super jumps so far. He's at the halfway point now. He's really holding it down despite these super jumps being more difficult than they are on other bosses. So if we see the 2520, that means he got it.
Yeah. Oh, that's good on Steven's side. No big deal.
He should be Geno bleeding in my face.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
He's fine.
Just attack. Yep.
Another physical. He's totally fine.
KBZ also dropped, so uh-oh, poison.
Uh-oh. Oh, that's fine. Mario hasn't taken any... Oh, he has taken
Okay.
damage.
Yeah, he took a knife, but it was partially blocked, so he's good.
So both runners drop jumps on Earthling, so that means that the lead is not going to change here.
Okay, Bowser's officially done with the run, so we're gonna strip him of Trooper Pin. Gonna give it to Peach.
KBC's in a tight situation here. I don't think he's really sure what to do.
He's gonna heal Mario.
Yeah, that's a smart choice. Smart choice.
And
nice
a miss.
Woo, thank goodness. So that's gonna put KBC behind by a little bit because he dropped super jumps twice on Earthling, but that's still okay. It's still very close. The Smithy fight is still
well, also
a major point of deviation.
KBC's got an extra rock candy for Gunyok, so I think he may be able to make up a little bit of time back.
That's true.
Because depending on what your final bomb count is going into the Gunyok fight will determine what bomb strat to use for him. There's like 6 different bomb strats available. So anywhere from between the best strat possible and the worst strat that you have available is like 30 some seconds at least, I think. But we still got super jumps to land on the director.
That's true. When I first started running this game, like, I would be able to super jump every boss perfectly except for Boomer and Director. I don't know why. My theory was that red bosses are impossible to super jump. And I remember Crescendo making a joke about that during his stream. He'd go into Director and Boomer and say, okay, let's test Pidge's theory about red bosses.
So Peach with the super suit and the Trooper Pin right now, she can use Genoblast on the cloak and the clerk and the manager. And before the director, Mario's gonna get the suit and the scarf and everything he needs. Mario's gonna be pretty much souped up, ready to go for the final stretch. And Geno's gonna get the Trooper Pin from Peach, so that he can deal extra damage with bombs and attacks. Mostly bombs, though. Geno becomes a bomb user once we get to Gunyok and Director. And you get a free rock candy from Toad here. He makes his way all the way through the factory, just tailing you after you've cleared the way, just to give you an item. But we can still get freebies from these bombs, so, I mean, a couple of freebies can change everything. And the fortunate thing, even though you're fighting the clerk, the manager, and the director, they're still considered boss fights, even though you don't hear the boss music playing. So they do get a instant HP, FP refill after each of these fights. Ooh, a low damage roll from KBZ, so Geno's gonna have to step in and make up that damage. With 2 Geno Blasts from Peach there on the manager, Mario has to deal about 150 damage to ensure that he dies. Oh, wait. The Geno Blast roll isn't correct. Did he miss an equip?
He might have taken HP on Peach at level 16. I'm not sure. How much did it do? Let me pull up the damage calculator.
284.
284. Okay, let's see.
It should be 326.
Oh, Peach might be underleveled, actually.
Yeah, that might be an underlevel.
Let's see.
Well, no, she's 16. She must have took wrong, or maybe equipment was wrong. I'm not sure.
That was manager, correct?
Yeah, that was on manager. Maybe no, she didn't forget the suit. Oh no, but they're both super jumping on director, so. 39 super jumps, and Geno throwing the rock candy should deal over 1,000 damage. And the rock candies also attack the mallets or the poundettes here, and they will kill everybody.
214. I actually can't get 214. That's really strange.
It was 284 was the damage.
284 you said. Okay. Oh no, that meant that he didn't hold Y long enough. It was.
Oh, he didn't. Okay, it was an undercharge. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the equips were right when he did them, so he must have didn't charge it long enough. To charge the Geno moves correctly, you have to hold Y the entire time until you see 3 stars. If you let off Y at any point, it stops the charge, and you can't save it.
And there's 5 charge intervals, and I think he released on the 4th one instead of the final one.
There's 4. Yeah, if you release on the 5th one, it's an overcharge. Because it goes 1 star, it goes another 1 star, 2 stars, and 3.
And just like that, KBZ takes the minor lead again, as he did not make a safety save. And they're synced! They're perfectly synced! That's because KBZ had a little trouble fighting his sleepy bomb, and they— oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. They're actually synced in the gun yelp fight.
Okay, Peach is getting boosted here because of insufficient bombs so that she can deal more damage chucking an ice. Oh, it didn't freebie. So Mario has to step in and deal some damage. Gun Yolk has 1500 HP while the Factory Chief has 1000, so we're gonna have to deal a little bit more damage on the Gun Yolk. And since we used that Sleepy Bomb here, nice rock freebie. And the reason we need that Sleepy Bomb that we bought way back in the beginning is here, because as long as you use rock candies, ice bombs, and special attacks, and not physicals, they won't wake up from being put to sleep. And if they use Breaker Beam, you're pretty much wrecked.
Oh, Steven freebied a rock candy too. Oh man,
baby.
I can't believe how close this is. This is the closest SMRPG race I think I've ever seen.
Since they both freebied a rock candy, they have that to use on Smithy 1 to do little jumps as possible. The minimal number of jumps with the rock candy at their disposal is 71. If they get a good roll, or a bad roll, they'll have to do an extra jump. But it all comes down to super jumps and who can do them. It's what all comes down to now. KBZ's safety saving. Steven does not. Here we go.
Oh, Steven's gutsy. He must know how close this is. So that's gonna make them tied again. Absolutely unreal. Absolutely unreal. So now Steven takes the lead from not safety saving, and they both have a rock candy for Smithy. This is crazy. Like, I predicted that.
I believe they both have a firebomb for Smithy too, should they get chest head. If they didn't get that rock candy freebie, they would have to use the firebomb instead to not have to do as many super jumps. Whatever the last bomb that you have in your inventory at this point, you would use on Smithy 1, and then you have to do a specific number of jumps, depending on Mario's damage roll.
It's too bad that we don't use Ultra Hammer anymore, so we can't do 69 super jumps.
Yeah. So Geno's role is to boost Mario and then boost Peach. So Peach can deal extra damage with Shocker, and Mario can deal extra damage, obviously, with his jumps and attacks. Geno has the Trooper Pin, so his attack is already augmented, but Geno's vulnerable because if he gets a Magnum or a bullet on Smithy 2, he's gonna die instantly. But that's just all up to RNG.
So Steven only has to do— oh, sorry, go on.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Steven actually got a very, very high damage roll, so he only has to do the 71 jumps, which is the lowest possible jumps you can do on Smithy. Yeah.
And it's crucial you don't drop, because if you do, he's gonna spawn a Shyster. You're gonna have to sit through an attack. Peach has to waste her turn to heal. I mean, it gets pretty crazy if you drop. Now, furthermore, on phase 2, if Peach has a safety ring, so she is protected from instant death attacks, as well as Mario. So if a Magnum comes Peach's way, she's good. If a bomb comes Peach's way, she's still okay, but she can't take 2 bombs. Likewise for Mario, he can take 2 bombs, and if Magnum comes his way, that's fine. And it's crucial that you time all your boosts here. You don't want Peach undefended. Oh wow, Steven's got Fright Bombs too. He freebied a Fright Bomb from Balome, I think.
Perfect Smithy 1 fight from Steven. Excellent work. He got the super jumps.
Okay, there's the rock candy at the top of the list.
Oh, that was a little...
With all of the freebies do place the items.
He gets another one.
Wow. Okay, that makes
two of the rock candy. That makes things interesting.
Yeah, KBZ can actually win now with that rock candy if he gets good RNG on the fight, because you can three round Smithy 2 if you hit all your jumps and get all your shockers.
You're right. Assuming that neither one of these guys drops super jumps on Smithy, KBZ can actually take it with that rock candy.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. He can win the race with that rock candy if he doesn't drop and Smithy cooperates. Right
now, this is anyone's race. This is awesome.
But the hardest super jumps are right here. There's a new boss strat with the firebomb, but you're risking not having the luck go your way. But we won't talk about that just yet. Oh, Gino's boosting himself for safety for that defense, so he can take a bomb now if Smithy fires one at him.
Not a bad idea.
Alright, here we go.
Dude,
they obviously doing it too. Yeah, they obviously can't hear us.
Yeah.
Ooh, Peach Warfan not working out with rolls.
That's okay. He's got the rock candy. As soon as Mario goes off screen on one, he appears on the other.
Left, right, left, right, left, right, left.
He's just jumping from screen to screen. That's what's happening here.
Yeah, it's only one Mario. Balome 2 cloned. Oh, 1460. Okay, Gino has to use the hero here. No extensions, no exceptions.
So 1460 is fairly high. I believe that's a little over half.
Yeah, you don't want him to go Mage Head when he transforms. It's crucial to deal enough damage. Ooh, a missed time shocker. That was 370.
So Smithy 2 is at about 3,600 damage on Steven's side.
I think KBZ is still going on the first set of jumps.
He is. He's doing very well.
100 jumps is 3,028 damage, just so you know.
23.
Oh, 23?
Okay.
That's good. He's almost through, he's about to bypass the Mage Head phase.
Yeah, that's correct.
Ooh, Magnum Mario? Okay, he's good.
Excellent.
So, whenever, every time Smithy 2's HP crosses a threshold, if he transforms, he'll transform to a specific head. So at 6,000 or less, he'll go to Mage. At 4,000 or less, he goes to Tank. But if he goes to 2,000 or less, he can go to any of the heads at random. Now we got synchronized super jumps on my feed.
Unreal, dude. I see it too.
704, 592. Yeah, it's gonna come down. It's gonna come down to who's gonna kill him first.
Nice freebie on the mushroom. And they both get a shot on Mario. Oh, but it misses on KBZ's side. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. This race is nuts.
I don't even know who's ahead on damage right now.
I don't either. I lost count.
I think
Steven wasn't in for a while, but I think they might be.
I think Steven might be.
And he hasn't transformed off of Tank Head.
Yeah, he had. Neither of them have stayed Tank Head. This is what makes it so critical to hit these jumps. If it was Tank Head, we'd be seeing Super Flame and Fire Bombs galore.
Good call on the maple syrup.
Yeah.
Is he gonna toss it? He's gonna toss it. He's tossing it.
He's tossing the rock candy.
Is this it? No.
No, it was too early. But I don't blame him for tossing it. He could have freebied it and he could have tossed it again.
Yeah, and it makes sense.
Chest head on Steven's side. This may be done.
Oh, this is
and he has a fire bomb and he's got fright bombs. He's got all the bombs to chuck.
Oh my gosh, is this it? Is
Chuck him. Keep a chucking.
Let's keep going,
And he
buddy.
freebied. He freebied another pipe bomb.
Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh, status.
Don't get scared, bro. Don't get scared, bro. Oh my goodness. Oh, he got mute. That's fine.
He got mute, yeah. I think Steven's got this now. He's got it. It's over. Steven wins. GG.
Congratulations.
Oh, Mage Head on KBZ's side. Is this gonna end? How quick is this gonna end? Come on, let it be soon. Uh-oh.
He's fine.
Oh
he's
god.
Fine.
The Milky Way shot. Ooh, nice miss on Gino. Nice block. I think KBZ's good.
There we go. They
Nice.
finished less than 30 seconds apart in a 3-hour run.
GG.
Absolutely unreal. Well done to both runners, Steven _ and KBZ.
Yeah, KBZ's safety saved. I don't know if that costed him. He safety saved at least twice in the factory.
Yeah, possibly. But I mean,
What can you
fight
do?
can go anyway.
Yeah.
I think what a fantastic race. Everyone in the chat, please drop these runners a follow. They did absolutely incredible. They're going to finish like 14 minutes ahead of estimate.
Now that alternate strat I was talking about for Smithy too, if you do enough jumps on the first set, like you get 100, you only do about 32 jumps on the second run, and you can actually force the transformation to chest. And if you have the fire bombs at your disposal, like these two did, you can just do super flame and chuck fire bombs over and over. That's what Albrecht did. Albrecht did that in his freshly world record run, and he got the freebies to do it. I mean, it was crazy. It's the only reason he PB'd by 6 seconds was because of that strat, and he got the freebies. It was crazy. I still look at it and I'm just like, oh.
KBZ's freebie luck was wild in this, like in the end game. KBZ's taking a page out of my book for these marathons. Now, since it says JRTA timing goes until the end of the credits, and that's why the run hasn't finished yet. So we have time.
I couldn't imagine
lots of time to congratulate our runners.
I couldn't imagine Steven blanking out on the text mashing for 30 seconds.
Yeah, well done to runners. Lots of clutch moments in that race. Absolutely amazing. Hi! Yo! Post-run interview. KBZ usually doesn't use voice, so if anyone in the chat has any questions for either runner, feel free to ask them, and I guess they'll respond if they want to. Or you can ask us commentator stuff if you want. How did you feel during that run? Like, were you nervous, like, doing all the stuff? That's okay, man. You pulled through. You got him first try on Jagger, and then, like, you weren't even that far behind, because both of you guys actually dropped jumps on Johnny 3 times, I believe. Yeah, I do that myself. Like, if I'm in a race, I don't even, like, watch. I don't pay attention to anything. I just watch my run. I don't look at where the other runner is. It just makes me too nervous. But you know what? You guys both did frickin' amazing. Like, what you guys actually went into countdown, like, on the same frame. The first turn was perfectly synced until, like, ultra jumps happened. Steven, turn on your mic on your audio feed. They can't hear you.
Is it?
You're broadcasting audio, right?
Yeah.
What? No, I can't hear you either. I meant in your OBS. Make sure your mic is on.
Oh dang! Is it working now? I don't know.
Yes, it's working now. I can hear you in Discord. Just make sure you have your mic turned on in OBS.
using OBS in 2017. What a meme. I actually use
What a
XSplit.
meme. Okay, we'll make sure it's turned on in XSplit. I used to use XSplit as well. Anyway,
back when you started out. No, okay. But thank you so much, Ali, Proto, everybody else behind the scenes, Dork Master Fleck, a fellow SMRPG runner. I'm really happy with the way this race turned out, and I'm so glad that you guys tuned in at this ungodly hour. Now I have like the rest of the day to kind of watch more runs. I'm really excited for the Cinco Bingo race, so that's cool.
Well, you and KBZ both did absolutely fantastic this run. That was an exciting run. Oh, Justin and I were getting so hyped. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm really, really, really amazed with how that race went. Like, especially, I'm not sure if KBZ's run this in a marathon before, but I know that you haven't, and that was an excellent first performance. That was very well done.
It's nice to put that on my streamer resume, that's for sure.
Yeah.
What a good game. I'm really glad that I found this game, because like it's super chill. All the other games that I run are a little fast-paced and like a little stressful. This one's kind of relaxing, except for the super jumps, obviously. But yeah, if you want to pick this game up, if you're interested in running this, there is a and you are intimidated by super jumps, there is a no super suit route. It's the route that I started on when I ran this on emulator. If you want any more details on that, website is smrpgspeedruns.com. Run by Lakatak and filled with information by your very own Kbzonfc1. Like,
that's me.
That's her, Mama Pidge, laying down the groundwork, rolling.
Shout outs to KBZ on the Smurf. Although I think he should be poking out from inside the parade. I got a good one. Mirror the image and put it on the right side.
That's like the best sub emote ever.
Hi everyone.
What a meme.
Do you mind if I hop in
Ellie.
here for a second?
Heck yeah.
So I would like to let everyone know that we have officially hit $5,000 raised.
Oh yeah.
Way to go, everyone! $5,000, that's hype. How many can we reach by the end of the day? I want to see 6K.
Oh wait,
We did it.
Gosh.
KBZ gonna do it? Is he gonna poke the Smurf from behind?
Oh my god.
That came out wrong, but I don't care.
Oh my god.
There it is! There it is! There it is!
Unbelievable.
So KBZ usually doesn't participate in voice calls, but he does like some of the funniest stuff ever on his stream.
Freaking
Unreal,
memester.
Giggity, giggity.
Okay. Oh, you can go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if you're not familiar with the Smurf emote, that's a Frankerface Z emote from RP Godfather 420, and whenever you type it in his chat, he just yells, "Dicks is jerking off to other." Like that's why Justin and I said that during the ABC cutscene, was because KBZ was putting that Smurf all over the place, and he made it a sub emote for his own channel.
What the Smurf is going on here? And there it is again.
So I just have a couple of things to say. So first off, I wanted to let y'all know that you can feel free to call time on this whenever time is supposed to be called.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't know when it is. So yeah, just to let the restreamer know. And also, I want to say thank you guys so much for $5,000. That was amazing.
Hell yeah.
We smashed last event's record.
Yeah, absolutely. This is fantastic.
But it's not
So I
too
wanted
late
to,
to donate. 5K is a great
Tom-
deal. We can always, push the boundaries further. I want to see 6K by the end of this marathon. I know we can do it.
I actually can't remember what time I got when I ran this in the Summer Pride Marathon. I think these guys might have actually beat my last marathon time from this.
So I wanted to read the donation that put us over 5K. It is a $260 donation
Yeah.
from Skullgun. that says, "It's important to ask for a lawyer and not a lawyer dog, especially in the state of Louisiana." I don't know what that means, but that is a great donation message. Thank you so much for your $260. And we have another donation from Garb, aka Garbon Security, in the chat, who will be doing a Bubble Ghost race later. So this is information for everyone to hold him accountable. He says, $10 for each time the ghost locks to an unintentional direction on my end for Bubble Ghost, with a donation of $5.
Oh wow,
Thanks
this is
to
actually a
everyone
really
for the
good time.
donations. Keep them coming.
Thank you guys for running this. This was really cool.
That was like the hypest race I've ever seen of this game. Oh my gosh.
Here in
Yes.
about another minute or so, time will be coming up. Timing ends when the end is fully displayed.
Yeah, just thank everyone who was involved in this race. You know, Steven, KB, actually being the racers, Justin and Pidge on the commentary. You did great commentary. Super
Honestly,
knowledgeable.
I'm
Always
so
awesome.
glad that Pidge and Justin were here. It's super hard to commentate while playing.
Oh, trust me, I know.
I mean, if you wanted amazing commentary for SMRPG, I don't think you could do any better than Justin and
Honestly.
Pidge.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Justin has like I've run this game in like a billion marathons, and Justin is like, if I'm gonna have a commentator for my run, like I want it to be Justin. He's like an OP commentator for this game.
We're almost there. I'm so excited. I just can't hide it.
Question from chat: why is time at the end of the credits? Well, it's been a Japanese RTA tradition. That's how they time their RPG runs. Is from power on to the end. So it's just keeping with the tradition of the Japanese RTA.
Time?
Yeah,
And-
it's power on to end of credits, and also
Time for Steven. Time for Steven.
Oh right, I was looking at the restream and not like the actual RTMP. Whoops. Oh look,
Time-
oh my god, this guy.
God,
This
this. Oh, he's got this down. He's got this down.
Look at this movement. This is why Kbz's a god at DKC. He's gonna put it. Oh my god.
There he goes.
And time is coming up for KBZ right
And-
there.
Now,
The Smurf gets the D. Oh
the
yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna peace out, y'all. Thank you so much again. And stay
Thank
tuned
you.
for
Excellent
more.
run. Well done, guys.
Good race, Steven.
Later.